gonna put the StreamYard link in the YouTube description, and we're just gonna let random people pop on the show and ask advice questions.
Oh.
Good evening. My name is Ben. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller. I just wanted to say I cannot hold my tongue any longer. I think you, Anthony, and especially Rob, need to lighten up on all the anti-Semitism. Israel is our greatest ally, whether you like it or not.
It's gay. Stop it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Taffy never disappoints ever. So, all right. So here's the thing. I have been mulling this idea of a like an advice show around because I've been
hate watching
John Deloney from the Dave Ramsey Show. Like when I tell you hate watching, like every single thing this guy does.
Like just how like the Pipe Cottage hate watches us.
Yes, it's actually exactly what he does. Pipe Cottage comes in our chat and our comments, and he just tells us how we're not Catholic every episode. This guy's been Catholic for 10 minutes, and he wants to lecture us on what it means to be Catholic. It's amazing. Pipe Cottage, we know you watch every episode. You can't help it. I do the same thing. I don't even blame you. I do the same thing with John Deloney. This guy drives me nuts. He'll talk to a woman.
John Deloney or Pipe?
John Deloney. He will talk to a woman for 30 seconds. And within 30 seconds, he'll convince her that she's being abused. And he'll tell her, you need to go see a lawyer. You need to file for divorce. And this is supposedly a Christian, like a Christian-based financial advice show. And this
can't be that Christian. He was on with Lila Rose.
Wow, that's even more ruthless than my line last night.
No, you said she's one of the most evil.
I did not. That's not what I said. I said I saw John and Lila were on together. It's like a combination of the two most evil people in history.
That is worse than what I said.
Yes, but mine was funny and gentle. You're just, I don't know. When you make mean-spirited jokes, they're just so mean. I don't know.
I know,
why.
but they make you laugh. You love them.
All right, so we're gonna play two. We're going to play two instances of like horrible advice that I've seen in the past couple of days. And then what we're going to do. So then yesterday I saw Keith Nestor. Well, welcome to Avoiding Babylon, everybody. We don't even do introductions on this show anymore. Please hit like and subscribe. That's the best we got for you. We have no advertisers or anything like that. But yes, please hit like and subscribe, share the show. So I saw Keith Nestor yesterday on his Monday live stream. He just posts the StreamYard link and pins it as the top comment on YouTube.
Because he has a trustworthy audience.
That is very true. That is very true. So, okay, so I'm going to lay some ground rules down for you guys. I don't want debates. This isn't the Jay Dyer show, right? I don't want like people coming on to argue, debate, stuff like that. The Sedivik contests that are in the chat. Like if one of you guys want to just pop on and talk for a second, I'm fine with that. I don't want to debate Sedivik right now. I'm going on Friday with Novus Ordo Watch. I'm doing a stream with Novus Ordo Watch on Friday. After that, we have the 3-day weekend because of Labor Day. If you guys want to do a show on Monday, I'm open to that. So if like all you guys are in here and you're thinking like this is your chance to come on and roast Anthony, like let's not do that tonight. I will give you guys an opportunity to do that. I'm going to probably, maybe I'll jump on stream Monday night and do something similar. And if you guys want to come on and engage me, I'm totally open to that. I just don't want to like have this whole show tonight be a complete fiasco.
And I'll just straight up ban you. So
yeah, right. And Rob's not the right guy to have on if you guys wanted to. Like we'll just do that. I'll do that with you guys solo. So, but what I am hoping for is like I'm dealing with something with a family member right now where this person was clearly upset with me for a couple of months, but has been to my face pretending like everything is fine, things like that. Huh?
No, what? Nothing.
So, but this person was pretending like,
you know what's funny? You know who was in our chat last night a lot without you there?
Who?
Your brother Joey.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So this family member was, like pretending like everything was fine. And it kind of came out yesterday. I'll share that show on Locals because I would actually like to hear an outsider's perspective on how I should handle that. Because part of me is like enraged by it. And I kind of just want to pop off and be like, you know what, all the crap I've dealt with this person for this long. And like, I just want to kind of vent. And then the other part of me is like, all right, maybe how should I handle this relationship wise, because I actually care about this person and I don't want it to blow up like that. So if like somebody has something like that, if you have a question about the Catholic faith,
maybe on locals, we should have Kale hop on and be the co-host and you be the caller and he'll give you advice.
that could work. I could ask Kale. For some advice. That would be good. So the idea, yeah, if you're a Protestant watching and you have some questions about Catholicism, we're totally open to that. If yeah, like whatever. If you, I don't know, somebody said like, what are your thoughts on the Knights of Columbus, something like that. Now, here's the thing: you can. So when we put the StreamYard link up, you guys are going to go in the green room. I think you have the option to turn your camera on or just your microphone. Like if you remain anonymous, you can remain anonymous because especially
there'll be a camera icon you can click and it'll turn the camera off, and it'll just be like this basically.
Right. So if you are worried about being anonymous, you can be anonymous. What I would suggest to anybody that does come in, put your Twitter handle as your name.
Or if you're in the chat, your chat name. That way if you're Grover and you put in Grover, I can make sure not to let you on.
Well, I would say put your Twitter handle because it's a good advertisement for your Twitter handle. Right? Like if you want to grow your Twitter, it's a good opportunity to pop on, grow your Twitter handle a little. Maybe some people from the chat will actually follow you. What we're going to do, Rob, I want you to post the link first to you to locals members and YouTube members.
I'll do it to Telegram, locals, and YouTube members.
So those are the first dibs. Okay. So it's going to be locals members, YouTube members, and our Telegram chat, because most of the people that are on locals are in our Telegram. So they're going to get first dibs. If we don't have anybody that wants to come on, then we will open it up to the wider chat. Elijah says, I want to grow my Twitter so Jay Dyer debates. I think Jay actually said to Elijah, bro, your Twitter's not even big enough for me, because Elijah wanted to have Jay on his channel and Jay kind of insulted him.
I'm posting the link now, but no one joined quite yet.
Okay, so we're going to play the 2 clips of advice that we have just to give you guys a little example of kind of the stuff that was enraging me this week. And then, yeah, and then we'll get into like, you know, maybe you have a girlfriend who's accusing you of emotional abuse or something. I don't know, because apparently this is a thing now. There's a such thing as emotional abuse, financial abuse. It's financial infidelity. I never knew this. These are all these terms that I've learned in the past few weeks. So, yeah, I would like to dive into some of this stuff. The Zealots Den, I saw you commenting on one of our last videos. If you're on Twitter, let me know who you are on Twitter, and you could send me a DM, and we could try to set it up if you guys want me to come on with you.
If you're not on Twitter, just email team@avoidingbabylon.com.
Yeah, I'm always open to helping guys that are trying to get something going. Like a lot of people helped us when we were getting going. So if you guys are trying to get something going, I'm always open to helping the younger guys out, especially. So, all right. So let's play the first John Deloney clip.
See, people are already popping in.
We guys are already popping in.
Why? Huh?
We lost Facebook.
Facebook.
How we lose Facebook?
I don't know. Not a big loss there, but
yeah, it's not a big loss as long as it's not one of the big ones. Oh my goodness, we got guys popping in already. All right, guys, just hang in the green room. We'll tell you when it's your turn to come up. You guys just sit tight and hang in the green room. We have people already ready to ask questions. That's good.
It's been a while.
It has been a long time. We're gonna have to get. All right, you know what?
We'll have to get crypto on first.
Yeah, we'll get crypto on first. Play the John Deloney clip real quick, and then we'll go right. We're gonna go right to crypto. Is it crypto ducat or crypto ducat? We'll have to ask him.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask him.
Okay,
all right.
Let me
so
share
anybody in the green room, just sit tight. You guys are on deck. You're in the lineup. You guys are coming on. Everybody on the man, they got a lot of people. This is funny. Did you remove Facebook?
There's no reason to remove it. It's just not working.
All right, I was blocking my screen. So, all right, so let's play that clip real quick, and then we'll get to Crypto Ducat. He's first on deck.
Can you be real honest with me?
Sure.
Is he abusive?
No.
Emotionally?
I don't let him be emotionally abusive.
That sounds really tough and cool, and I appreciate you flexing. Is he emotionally abusive?
I don't know. I really don't know if I can answer that. Like,
Let me put
I'm struggling to say yes because I don't really want to say yes.
There you
because
go.
I don't know if I could. I don't want to say yes.
Okay. I will leave you to deal with your reality, but you know the truth.
I think they call that a leading
You also
question.
know that guys
court.
can wrap themselves up and I'm a good guy, and they can
This
be
is-
hyper abusive without ever saying a word.
All right,
Can you
so
be
this
real
is-
honest?
This isn't no. This isn't a leading question. This woman was totally fine. I'm not abusive. My guy's a good guy, and he just convinced that woman she's being
Yeah.
abused. Like, that's psychotic. That's not just like, that is totally psychotic. So I think personally, I can give better advice than John Deloney. I just think I can. So, all right, we lost Crypto Ducket.
No, he's there.
Oh, he's there. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's
he's there.
first on deck. We are going to
Except crypto, you need to connect a microphone or camera.
one or the other. You don't have to put your face up.
I
You have to have a
can't
mic.
add you.
Okay, so you want to pick Luke or Roman wins? Which one?
Luke was first, so we'll start
All
with
right.
him.
Let's see. All right, Luke, welcome to the program. Your mic is muted. You will not be able to ask the question until you unmute your mic.
Still muted.
Mic is muted.
Hey,
There
what's
you
up,
go.
guys?
There you go.
How you doing, Luke? What's going on?
No, still okay.
No, we can hear you.
No, we hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Hey, sorry, there's a little bit of a lag here.
No problem.
Look, this is
Can you hear us?
His wife beater. Can you hear us? Because we hear you fine.
Well, anyways, my question for you guys, I thought Rob might like this one.
Okay.
Is
He's got quite a lag. He's like 2 minutes behind.
sorry, this lag is like super long. It's like 10 or 15 seconds. But okay, anyway, if you guys could go back and actually redo, some of the things that you did initially when you guys were fathers, what would it be? And you can't do two things. Obviously, one is you can't say teach the faith or something really obvious like that. And you can't say co-sleeping. So anything else, that would be awesome. Just
Okay.
any advice that you guys would have for being a father.
Okay, that's actually really good questions. What would I go back and do differently?
You're kind of in a different situation than me.
Well, yeah, because you're there now. It's
Yeah.
more of a question for me because my kids are older. Homeschooling would be number one. Right off the bat, homeschooling would be number one because when I first came back to the church, it wasn't nearly as crazy as the schools are now, and I really didn't know how much just between feminism and the Marxist culture that public school actually indoctrinates our children with. I would absolutely have, like, from the beginning, tried to do everything I could to set my wife up, maybe joined a homeschooling community or something like that. That's the first thing I would do. And the second thing, man, these are hard questions. I wish I had a minute to actually think about them. You have anything off the top of your head
Yeah.
you're thinking, Rob?
So for me, with our first, Hope was my wife was still working at the time and worked for for 2 years. And so my second, third, and now my fourth kids have had their mom at home all the time. My first one, my oldest, didn't, and like we can definitely, there's definitely more anxiety in him, whether that's just him by nature or part of not having his mom home with him all the time. I really think it's a large part due to that. So I would definitely have gotten Hope out of work much sooner than we did.
Okay, so the other thing, I know you said you can't say just teach the faith, but I would have taught the faith differently than I did. And I definitely would have used books like The Golden Legend, and I would have definitely introduced my children more to the lives of the saints and read them more scripture. So like we did daily rosaries, things like that, but I probably would have tweaked the way I introduced scripture and the saints to my children. Those would be two things. So those are very good questions. Luke, you have any follow-up? We can wait a minute.
Sorry for the delay there. No, that's pretty much all I had. My son was actually born a week ago, and
Congrats.
2 days after that, or 2 days before rather, my father passed. So it's been like a crazy couple of weeks for me, and yeah, so it's been a crazy week, and yeah, if you guys could just pray for Elijah, my son, that'd be awesome. And
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
definitely
right,
do
Luke.
that.
All right, Rob, we're gonna cut him because of the delay, it's too difficult to have a back and forth with him. But yeah, Luke, absolutely. So Luke actually DM'd me when his son was born and stuff. So keep Luke and his family in your prayers. Those are really good questions,
Yeah.
man. Those are way more way better than I thought we were gonna get. Okay, you wanna go to Roman, or is crypto ready?
I don't see crypto on the list.
All right, let's go to Roman.
What's up, boys? First time, long time. How's it
What's happening, brother?
Roman wins. I follow you on Twitter. I'm also a local supporter, I guess. But
Thank you.
That was a great answer. Married 21 years. I got two kids in their 20 and 17. So I completely co-sign that advice you just gave. I wish I homeschooled earlier, and I wish I imported more scripture in my younglings. But what can you do? But basically, I guess my question, is it a question? I don't know if it's a question. It's more of a statement. I'm a 22-year military intelligence analyst working in the deep Middle East my whole career. I'm a Puerto Rican from the New York, New Jersey area. So they think we look Arab, so they embed us peoples over there. So it's like whenever you black pill, I'm the first in the chat saying, Anthony black pill, because we see this stuff every day, the kind of the religious ties between the geopolitical. So keep doing it, man. Like it's so real. These guys believe this stuff. I mean, people don't know the whole October the 7th kicked off because they had just actually started importing the red heifers into Israel. And so they got tipped off of that stuff ahead of time. And that's when the attack happened. So I'm in the chat all the time. You ever want to talk about this stuff and get nuts on the locals? I got stuff for days, but basically that's all I really wanted to, say.
Let me ask you something. So, all right. So you're married 22 years and you've been in the Middle East. Like, how long have you been home for?
I've been back. Well, so I've been out of country for the last 10 years, but I still work and, liaisoning and things like that. So
how was that on your marriage? Because was your family with you, or was it how was that?
That was very difficult. So my wife and I, we were, both cradles, and we got married at 20, and being in the Middle East and things like that was really tough. I mean, basically you're talking 2002 or 2003, 2004. So like we had satellite phones. So you actually had to remember phone numbers and things like that. And she was on the phone with me in SATCOMs when I've been hit by RPGs behind sand walls, like Insurgent, things like that. So it was, we're Sacramento, so we were never gonna break up. But full disclosure, it's like you're stuck apart for each other almost 6 months to a year, and the longest was 18 months when I was stuck overseas. And it's really taxing. And so it's kind of like, I'm not even lying. It's a great question that you asked me. I had like a chaplain that was like dedicated to keeping me sane and keeping me like focused on, you don't want to mess this up. This is binding. So it was really taxing. And being in Special Operations Commands, it's not like a normal military. It's like 75th Rangers and Special Forces, they keep going back. So it's constant rotations, and it's the highest divorce rates ratio wise for a reason. But we got lucky, and on my last deployment back after I got wounded, she was like, "We're done." I got lucky. I took a military civilian job, and then I came back to the Philadelphia area, and I've been there ever since. But no, it's it's a challenge, man. It was a really good question.
God bless, man, because like you hear it all the time, military wives, it's like their husband's absent so much. As hard as it is on you, it's hard on the wives too. So God bless your wife for sticking through all that. So all right, so if we do a black pill episode and we want to get into the geopolitics, we'll have you on a locals episode one night and we'll go deep with you.
You guys, it blows my mind, because like how what people don't know, but like how close you get on some things, and I just sit in the chat and I just smile.
How did you find our show?
I've been well, first, you're a delight on Twitter, and so your stink rose to the top, and that's how I found you probably about 9 months ago, and then I immediately became a locals member, and I've been around ever since. So it's like I hate the fact that we're in this Catholicism thing. My name is actually Roman, and so
very cool.
Yeah, so it's like my name is Roman. My name for years was Roman Wins, and then the stupid WWE wrestler took the name, and then the Catholicism online space blew up. So it was just like, well, do I come up with a different handle? This is my actual name. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
So that's your actual? Is that your full Twitter handle? Because I do follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, Roman with a number 0, just because it. Try and claiming the name Roman.
Yeah. That's why I have Catholicism with a Z. Yeah. All right. So, hey, anybody just go follow Roman Wins. Thank you for the question, brother. We'll get you back on another time.
Cheers,
Very
man.
cool. All right, Rob, you want to bring Celicast on?
Do we want him or do we want Christian and Margot?
Oh, bring Christian and Margot on. We'll get Celicast on, but Christian and Margot, the newlyweds. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
How is married life?
It's interesting.
It's good.
It's different.
We'll have to get used to.
Yo, okay, so this is my question. How do I get her to make a sandwich for me?
I made you lots of sandwiches.
Well, first, does she know how?
Yeah, that's a good question. Does she know how to make a sandwich?
Yes, I do.
I don't know, man. She doesn't put mayonnaise on it. She doesn't put mayonnaise on it at all.
Mayonnaise is disgusting.
Hey, you better straighten this broad out, Christian.
You know it. You know it.
You better straighten this broad out right now. Yeah, I don't know. I would tell her. I would take her phone away for an hour and say every hour you don't make my sandwich, you get 3-hour penalty on the phone. Look at it, it's attached to her hand.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. That is I'm taking that phone away until I get the sandwich of my dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very happy for you guys. Congratulations, Margot. You found
Thank
a good
you.
Man. We like Christian much more than you. It's no offense. We're not a big fan of women on this show.
Ha! You got a woman on.
Pray for us to have lots of boys.
Lots of girls.
Yes.
Boys.
Oh, you guys expecting yet or what?
No.
Not yet. You guys gotta get working on that.
But boys.
All right. Okay. We don't want any more tawdry marriage talk over here. So we're glad you guys popped in.
We don't want to scandalize the single man.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Congratulations, guys. All right.
I'll go make a sandwich.
Let's bring Celicast on. It's probably Grover, right? If it is Grover, listen, I'm telling you guys right now, there's absolutely no vulgarity on this show. Like, don't try to be anything crazy. But
no puppets.
Nope. Whatever. You could do anonymous. I'm fine with that. Let's bring Celicast on. Let's see which one of them it is.
Hello, my friends. Hello,
which one are you?
I'm not Grover, that's for sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Tommy?
John.
Oh, John. Okay. What's going on, John? You got a real question?
Anthony, when are you bringing on I Love Contraception, John Farrell?
You know what it is? It's a topic that
he's down there right now.
Yeah, I know. He's in there. Well, the thing is, look, it's not that I won't talk to him. It's I don't want to, and I don't know, man. Like a whole episode on NFT, like it's a lot.
Nature and it's a contract.
I told you guys if after the weekend, the Monday at the end of the 3-day weekend, I'm gonna come on, and if you guys all want to just jump on with me, I'm totally fine with it, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want. I'll do a show at Celicast since you guys won't invite me on your show.
We invited you multiple times, Anthony.
Yeah, 20 seconds before airtime. Like, you can't just throw me a DM 20 seconds before the show goes on and then call me, get on my case because I didn't have time to jump on with you guys. But I'm not against hanging with you guys. I'll definitely talk with you guys. But it was nice talking to you, John. I hope you show your face
Thank
when
you,
I come
Anthony.
on. All
One
right.
day. I already have. Don't worry.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll set something up. All right. Who we got next?
You pick.
I can only see David, up to David. Like, I'm not down. I don't know
okay.
why.
Well, I think David was.
Oh, we
one
got a
the
bunch of
earlier-
people. Oh,
Yeah, we got a bunch
Catholic.
of people.
All right. Yeah, you pick. Go random. I don't care. All right, David, you are on Avoiding Babylon. What can we help you with?
Hey, hey guys, wait, just let me pull up right here.
Driving.
I was driving, driving home from work. I have a long commute. Let me turn on my camera. Hey guys.
There we go.
What's happening?
I'm David. I'm 24. Married for 4 years now. Have 3 kids in those 4 years.
Nice.
So we're really trying to do God's work over here in California, of all places. And so my question for you is just any tips like to strengthen your relationship with God, like specifically with your spouse. I know that we try to do the family rosary, but I don't know, is there anything that you guys have done, each of you with your wives? I don't know, any devotions that you might want to recommend? And I have another question after that.
Let me ask you this: are you? Were you like? Did you and your wife have a conversion? Were you both cradle Catholics? Give me a little backstory to.
Oh
to
yeah, homeschoolers. I guess. I mean, I don't know if you could call it high school sweethearts. I mean, we met like towards the end of high school. We actually met in this one Catholic youth group, and I remember when I was starting. I don't really want to say the name of it. It's kind of like a
kind
of big. Anyways, so we met in that youth group, and we kind of branched out, and my family started talking to her family. I mean, and we started talking to each other, and one thing led to another. And I actually followed. I was listening to a bunch of Father Ripperger, so I just literally took his courtship video and tried following that step for kind of exactly to what he said. Now now I'm a little older. Now I get like the flexibility of ideas. I don't just have to do what Father Ripperger says. But at the time,
yeah, I'll tell you this. I always found it a little awkward to pray with just me and my wife. But when my kids were around, I always felt great being like the spiritual leader and leading the family in prayer. So I always heard stories about like couples that would just sit and pray together. And my wife and I have always, I don't know why, so if we go out to dinner, we pray before our meals and stuff like that. But like we never really did pray in bed together, just the two of us. It was always like a family led group praying. But I would say, especially if you can get a sitter, I would say even just sitting in adoration together. And I will say this, like you guys, like even Rob, you guys are in the thick of it, like with the little kids and like mayhem in your home. But you guys have to really make sure you're attentive to your wives. Like it's an important thing. Otherwise, you have to make sure your relationship doesn't become stale and mundane, and that you just become roommates raising kids together, and that you still treat each other like you're trying to pursue one another, right? Like you want your wife to, you don't ever want your wife to just be your roommate. It's a very important thing. So that's a small bit of advice I would give. Rob, you have anything?
I would say, things you can do as a family besides like just the family rosary, and it's not necessarily like devotions, but we like to celebrate all the like the kids' name days, like all their patron saints, for both their first and middle names. So we make that kind of a big deal as a family, and I'll tell them a story about their patron saint. So we enjoy doing that as a family, but also just so we're homeschooling, and I try to do the religion aspect while my wife does the normal school stuff. So we just like sitting together while I just throw the Baltimore Catechism up on the the TV and read through it with them and have any of them ask whatever questions they want. And it's actually good for my wife too, because she's a convert. It's been 5-6 years now, but she's still learning too. So just things like that, just anything faith adjacent. It doesn't have to be a set novena or a devotion. It can just be talking about the faith, telling stories about the faith. I'll tell the kids what growing up was like for me, what I did as a kid, how my favorite memories are saying the rosary with my grandma and grandpa while camping and stuff. So it's just sharing little stuff like that as a family together.
Make a big deal of like St. Nicholas Day.
Yeah.
Like make a big deal out of like the little traditions that they used to do that we missed out on growing up in like, your average, regular Catholic family. Like there's little things like we made such a big deal out of like putting slippers outside the door for St. Nicholas Day and stuffing them and things like that.
And I found that fisheaters.com is a great resource for little traditions like that they've done in the past that were lost even before, we grew up. You can, whatever feast day it is, you just throw that in the search engine on there and it will give you songs you can sing with your kids for that feast, recipes your wife can make for the dinner for like say Martin Miss or stuff like that. So there's lots of cool things you can do.
Yeah, my wife's all into that, like liturgical living, and so that's really cool. I also wanted to ask you guys if you guys would come to California. I don't know if it's like the forbidden land, because I'm with the men's group. I guess I'll just say I'm with the Brotherhood of St. Dismas, Brotherhood of Penitents of St. Dismas. We have our group in Holy Innocents, but in Holy Innocents in Long Beach. So if anybody is out there who wants to attend, but it's just a men's group. We follow Rule Life, and I was talking to the other guys, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, I listened to Avoiding Babylon." I was like, "Oh wow!" So okay, so we have this in common, and so I don't know if you guys would be willing to.
Well, you know what? Maybe Rob and I will put together like some kind of price packaging. Like if guys have a men's group and they wanted to like, I don't know where. I mean, if you're in California, you guys don't have to pay for our travel, pay for our airfare, and then maybe we'll come up with like a fee that makes it worth us abandoning our families for a day or two or something. We'll have to figure that out. There's going to be some things that we're going to be announcing soon that might free us up to do some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll be able to pull some stuff like that off. We're gonna like kind of move through these quick to get to everybody. Those are really good questions. David, very nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, who we got next? Ordo Catholic, you are on Avoiding Babylon. What can we do?
Yo, yes, what's up, man? First of all, I have to give a quick shout out to my boy Evan. He put me on you guys like a year ago.
Okay.
All right. Here from Tim Gordon, just eating dinner with my wife that she just made. I know we were talking about homeschooling earlier. We were both teachers. I retired her Tim Gordon mode, couldn't let her do that anymore.
Very good.
Homeschool your kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't send your kids to these public schools. Also, I'm in law school right now. I'm studying, immigration lawyer, maybe send them back. I don't know. We got to determine. My question here is, right. Oh, real quick. Shout out to the Ordinariate as well. Love the Ordinariate, Chair of St. Peter. Love the SSPX too. I just got to plug them. Okay. I'm in a lovely group of friends here. Okay. We're talking about top 5 non-Bible saints. So like not the apostles, not Mary. Okay. One of my boys pulled up St. John Paul II. Okay. I need a list from you guys. That's my question. What's your top 5?
Ooh.
Top 5 saints outside of scripture. I mean, I would probably go Augustine. I would definitely go Pope St. Gregory the Great. I would say see, like we were talking earlier, like I think Catherine Aragon should be a saint because what she endured under Henry VIII was heroic, and especially in modern times, I think she should be a saint. So she's one of my favorites. What was that?
Are you Ordinariate pill? That's what that sounded like.
No. What Catherine endured under Henry VIII and still stayed faithful to the church and to her marriage throughout all of it, I just think that is incredibly virtuous, and I think that there should be a cult around her. Who else? I mean, St. Padre Pio is by far one of my favorites. And then I would say St. Therese, the Little Flower. I always, she got me through a very difficult time in my life during work when I basically lost a lot of prestige at my job. And I had to actually go in as I went from being like one of the head supervisors at my company to just being a laborer. And I had to make every act of, it was basically like everything I did at work was an act of humiliation that I just offered to God. And it got me through a really difficult time at work.
That's a great list. I'm surprised of no St. Francis, but that is a fantastic list.
Oh yeah. You know what? St. Francis too, man. Like the real St. Francis, not the hippie St. Francis. Yeah. I should have said him too.
For me, it would be St. Tarcisius, St. Ignatius of Loyola, St. Augustine, and St. Ambrose, and St. Philomena.
Rob, who's the patron saint of guns?
There is a patron saint of gunfighters. It's Saint Louis the Ninth is a good one. Let me look him up real quick. There is one. Patron saint of
we got some funny comments in the chat here.
Yeah, Saint Gabriel Pacenti
here, and then I'll leave you guys alone. Why not Saint Pope John Paul II the Great?
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest. I loved John Paul II. I really did. I loved John Paul II my whole life, and it wasn't until a few years ago when I started really understanding a lot of the damage he did. But for somebody growing up in that era, he was a very powerful figure in my life, and especially in my conversion. So I probably wouldn't have taken issue with the title St. John Paul the Great until the past 7 or 8 years or so, until I started seeing all the people he elevated. And, you know, I mean, he gave us McCarrick, he gave us Pope Francis, there's so many things that and the Assisi meetings are something that you just can't overlook those. And the abuse crisis happened under his watch.
Yeah.
So those would be my biggest difficulties with him. But I mean, he was a role model to Catholics for those who wanted to go out and proclaim the faith. I mean, there's a whole generation of people that you call JP2 Catholics. So
popes are they're a little different, right? Because you could have someone who say was a martyr, died for the faith, or lived a very clearly holy private life and died. And I still think we should wait to name them saints, but naming them a saint, like a martyr, a few years after their death, okay, I don't have a real problem with it. But a pope, it takes a century or two to really understand the impact that they really had on the church. And I think you really need to take that into account before you can claim a pope to be a saint.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just thought, I love St. John Paul II, but top 5 just absolutely blew my mind. That's some NO brain, the galaxy brain take.
Yeah, he shouldn't be anybody's top 5. That's for sure.
I mean, you could name 5 of the fathers, any 5 of the fathers, and that'd be better,
sure. Yeah, that's why I was saying Augustine. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, no, all right. So, all right, we're going to move on, Auto Catholic. I'm sorry, man. We do have to keep it moving, but there is St. Anthony Abadi is St. Anthony of the Desert, and he is the father of Western monasticism. So, yeah, St. Anthony Abadi is actually probably in my top 5
he's the father of Eastern monasticism. The father of Western is St. Bernard of Clairvaux.
Yes, you're right. No.
Not Bernard of Clairvaux.
No. But Saint
Benedict is the father of Western.
Yeah. Well,
all right, man. Y'all have a good night. Go Converts.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Go Converts.
Go Converts.
Okay, I'm going in line just so everyone knows.
Yeah, just in order, whatever order you got in.
I'm not picking anyone or not picking people. Deirdre, you don't have my. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hey guys, my name's Charby. Live in Charlotte. First time I was introduced to you guys, heard of you guys really, was during the men's conference at St. Thomas Aquinas in Charlotte.
Get out of here. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, oh boy, they're going to be an awesome closer. But instead, we got the nice gentleman from Tam Books. Love his talk as well. But I was like, man, did Avoiding Babylon touch us? But I didn't really start watching your videos until a few months ago. So I've always wondered, what kind of happened there? Because I met Christian Wagner there. I met a few other people
This is a
there.
good question.
Well, what's funny is we kind of just made peace with the cause behind it all.
That is a very good question. So we were asked to speak at that conference, and I had a bit of a falling out with a gentleman named Jim over my objection to the idea of mutual submission, because I very firmly believe that the husband is not just the head of the home, but he's also the spiritual head of the home. He took a lot of issue with me saying that wives are like your wife is your spiritual child. And that got into a very big mess. And then he wound up digging up all of my tweets that had to do with, maybe they were misogynistic towards women, and maybe they were a little bit sarcastic about the people of the old covenant. And he sent them to the bishop down there. And there was enough pressure put on them that they asked Rob and I to step down. But we were still invited. We were still paid to go down there. So all the people that were coming to see us, we told them, look, we're going to do an after event.
Hangout.
And we wound up just hanging out with everybody. You should have come to the hotel. We hung out all night that night and got to meet all the people that came down to see us at the talk. Hopefully the next talk we go to will not be a diocesan sponsored event, because we learned our lesson with that. We will never speak at another diocesan official diocese event, because it just, they're too easily frazzled and they cancel too quickly. So we're going to try and set something else up for the future. But we're very glad that you got introduced to us and found our channel, man.
Yeah. One more thing before I go. It's so funny you mentioned mutual submission, because I'm a convert as like the last guy. And I remember one of the first masses I went to after I converted, the mass reading was wives obey her husbands. Husbands love your wife as Christ loved the church. And when the priest read, when the deacon read, wives be submissive to your husbands, you could just see like half the women in my Novus Ordo parish like bristle, and I'm just like, it's so over. Why did I even join this? No.
And all the men probably put their heads down.
I think the generation that quivers at that verse is starting to go away. And I think we're starting to see men realize that mutual submission just doesn't work. It's, we've dealt with it for a few generations now, and I think that a lot of the younger couples and women seem to be embracing it too, which is what makes me hopeful. It's not just men lording their authority over their wives. It's women wanting a man to lead them and wanting a husband who's actually going to be the spiritual head of the home. And I think the only way we get to that is by making men, and making men someone that a woman wants to follow, because women are stubborn and they're difficult, and we have to work on that. So we need real men to beat the stubbornness out of these women, not physically, just
Oh, that's gonna get clipped. Son of a
Sharby, very, very happy you started watching the show, man. I wish we would have known, and we could have actually met you when we were in North Carolina. Hopefully we get another chance soon.
Coming up to New Jersey this weekend. So you're
I'm in New York, but yeah,
okay.
I got family stuff this weekend. But we're going to figure something out. I promise. I was just talking to Michael Hitchborn today about trying to figure something out on the East Coast. So we'll put something together, man.
Cool. Hey,
very nice meeting you.
Thank
you. All right,
you.
who we got next, Rob?
Hello.
All right, who's this? Kelly?
Can you hear me?
We can. Oh my goodness, another girl on the show. What are we gonna do?
I'm sorry. I'm actually driving, but I had a few questions. Well, two really. The first one is regarding the Holy Mother of God. So my understanding is those individuals who are unbaptized are considered children of wrath, correct? They're not children of God. So I always had trouble understanding how the Blessed Virgin Mary was the mother of all humanity and not just the mother of baptized souls. And I was hoping that you guys could kind of clarify that a little. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm not a theologian. I'll give Rob a better crack at this, but I would put it in respect to how Christ is king and every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Christ is king. Mary's queenship is is derived from Christ's kingship.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and God is the God of all mankind, and Mary is the queen of the universe, and we receive divine adoption at baptism. So yes, you're 100% correct. Not every person is a child of God. That is like a new thing that people say, but it's just not actually true. In reality, everyone is created in God's image and likeness, but only those who are baptized are children of God, because that is when we receive divine adoption.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much for that clarity. The second question I had, I think, was more secular. So I have watched some of the Marvel series, and one of the series I did watch was Loki. My question is, because he's a demon pretty much. So I wanted to know if that presents an issue. I know Father Rippinger covered like a lot of the Harry Potter series and how Catholics should not watch those sorts of things. And I was curious if that kind of fell into it as well, like in terms of things that we shouldn't.
I mean, I would say, well, one, it's just bad TV.
I liked Loki. I thought Loki was good. I liked it.
I would just suggest finding better TV, but I would say the show, the Marvel universe or whatever, it doesn't present him as a god, right? They present him as just some sort of alien being on another plane that maybe humans treated as a god. So I don't know. I don't have a moral objection to that part of it. I don't know. I just wouldn't watch it.
No, I thought Loki was fine. Yeah, we had Father Isaac on my. I had Father Isaac at my house, and I was doing an interview with Father Isaac, and somebody pointed out that in the background behind Father Isaac was my series set of the Harry Potter books. John Rob's doing his best Jimmy Aiken. I had the Harry Potter book series in the background of Father Isaac, who has railed against the Harry Potter series. So I'm probably not the best person to ask this question to, because I actually did read the Harry Potter books with my kids when they were little. I thought it was before like I ever actually started thinking deeply about this stuff, and I just thought it was a good way to get their imaginations going. I also read Lord of the Rings parts, The Hobbit with them, not Lord of the Rings.
Don't
read
compare
the
two.
I'm just saying that's where I was with them when they were little. So, but yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to ask on that, Kelly, to be honest.
Thank you. And then the last question, I wanted to know if you guys were going to cover a lot of the leak audio that came from Lepanto Institute regarding the priests. Is that something that you guys are going to cover in another broadcast?
We have Michael Hitchborn on Thursday night.
Okay.
Thursday night, Michael Hitchborn will be on. We will be covering that, and then we'll also have Michael on just to discuss some. I just love getting Michael on. He's just such a fun guest to have on. But yes, we'll definitely be discussing that.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for
Kelly.
taking my call. Bye.
Anytime. All right, who we got next, Rob?
You ready for the next one?
Let's go.
All righty, I love it.
Bro,
the guy you hate to love, you love to hate. Yes, my flying monkeys are like, you got to get on there. I'm like, all right, let me give it a try. My hat's off to you guys though. Making a YouTube channel is tough. People say, oh, you're just wimpy. You got to get a real job. Go ahead and try it. Anyway, I've made a few videos because I'm a loudmouth and I got a lot to say. But I guess that mutual submission you were talking about, it's rooted in NFP. Has that ever occurred to you? Have you ever thought about that?
Absolutely. I don't think we disagree on NFP. I think NFP is basically it's a Catholic excuse for birth control in 90% of cases. So,
well, it changes the entire law of marriage, is what I've figured out. It's not even 90%. It's you have created a new natural purpose for the conjugal act, aka unity, right?
Unitive way.
And if you ask Timothy Gordon, does the conjugal act have to be unitive? He'll say yes, but I won't tell you what unitive is. So that's kind of what I wanted to ask you guys is the conjugal act, do you consider it, does it need to be unitive, and what does that mean?
I would say it doesn't need to be, because I think for all of human history, you'd have women would, but I don't know what the word, I don't know, because that's probably a new word. I've really never thought about it that deeply, but I do think that there is a natural element to the conjugal act that does bring the spouses closer.
I mean, yeah, I would say when done properly, it is just unitive by its nature. Just as
I don't think it's supernatural.
as it's creative by its nature.
Right. I just made a video about Lila Rose because I called her the NFP dominatrix, because she's saying that it's about love, not procreation. That's where the NFP comes in. So, in fact, you no longer have the right to the debt because the right to, quote, unity trumps your right to the debt. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get out there. Yes. So it's all the JP2ism. The personalistic norm is the new legal basis. So you can have all the marital. Yeah. So this is marriage law. Okay. And they've taken theology and turned it into nature. And this is why I'm saying that unless NFP be declared intrinsically evil, you cannot restore marriage. You cannot restore marriage.
This is a deeper subject, so it's not something that we can answer quickly like this.
Totally got it. Yeah, I got it.
It's actually an interesting thesis that you think it needs to be declared intrinsically evil. So maybe we'll get you on. Maybe we'll dig into that a little bit, because that's an interesting.
Yeah, when the time is right, that's cool. But anyway, that was my initial comment. It's making a YouTube channel is not. It's not easy at all.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. yeah. More power, guys. All right. Cheers. God bless.
Nice meeting you,
Thank
brother.
you.
Sure. Cheers.
Yeah. Just a word on that for a second. It is difficult to make a YouTube channel because you can't just. It's not easy to come up with things that, like this show tonight is. I wanted to do something different, right? You get kind of.
So he stole the idea from Keith.
Well, I stole the idea from a lot of different areas. I'm not saying it's original.
I know.
It's from a desire to do something different and unique. And I figured, hey, I'm sure a lot of people would love that watch our show regularly would love to just jump on and talk to us for 2 seconds, or get to hang with because you guys know us because you watch us talk twice a week like this, but we don't know you guys, so it's a cool opportunity for you guys to jump on. And
most of you have literally watched three. Well, not literally watched 3 of my kids be born, but you've been around for 3 of my kids be born.
the births of 3 of Rob's children. So
yeah.
All right, let's get the next one on. Let's see. And then we're gonna get feedback after the show and see what you guys thought of this. And we're not gonna do it every episode, but I think this is a cool thing to do monthly, and we'll see how it goes. So
for those asking how you call in, we haven't even gotten through only locals and YouTube members yet. So
right, but we will stay on long. So it's not going to be like we're not going to jump to locals tonight. I think we'll just stay on here, and we will give YouTube a chance to jump on. We're almost through the locals members. So
Anthony, man, we're getting a lot of feedback, dude. Yeah, I don't know if you're there, man.
Anthony of the 5 Sicilies, you there?
I'm gonna
put him on hold, and let's go to Sebastian.
Anthony, I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna leave you in there, but hold on, he just muted and unmuted. Are you there now?
Nah, his mic's not working. All right, let's go to Sebastian.
Sebastian, hello.
Oh no, we got guys on the floor. Let's go, brother. What's happening?
Anthony's favorite.
I always try to catch you guys while I'm here working because you guys stream while I'm on my shift, But first of all, I want to just say God bless you, Rob. I'm hoping your wife's doing well, your new baby. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Baby Sebastian, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so based on my question for you guys, obviously I hear you guys talk about it a lot. We're blessed. I'm here in Phoenix area where we've got an SSPX chapel here with a school. Mm-hmm. So if anything, I would just put my kids through that when the time comes. My only daughter is only 7 months old right now. But I've also thought about homeschooling. My thing with you guys is just with your guys' experience in it. What are resources or just how to get into it? How would you actually advise somebody get into homeschooling and what that process looks like?
I would say, first find someone that is doing it or has done it, just to get an idea. But the nice thing about homeschooling, and also one of the more difficult aspects is just how personalized it just is by nature, right? Um, so like we started last year with my oldest. We did kindergarten. So I just did a lot of research online of what sort of curriculums were out there. There are people who build their own, who take bits of from many different sources and just build their own. And maybe we'll do that in the future once we get more of a hang of it. But I had done some accounting work for a Catholic private school / homeschool cooperative. So I knew of the curriculum they use, and it was a classical sort of curriculum. So I just ordered the kindergarten curriculum for that. We looked through it. My wife and I looked through it, figured that we did like it, at least for kindergarten, and used that. And then we didn't use the religion part of it. I just did stuff from the Baltimore Catechism for that. So it's just a matter of trial and error, figuring out what works for you or your wife, whoever's teaching, but also whatever works for that child. And like we're realizing that what we did for our oldest is going to have to be different for our next kid in line, because they're just very different kids, and they have different strengths and weaknesses and things like that. So it's just a matter of trial and error, and you just know that whatever you do, man, it's gonna be better than public school, right?
And
So
and there's also a lot
don't
of, like you said, the co-ops. The co-ops are a lot different
Yes.
now than they were. Like it's not like like it was years ago where you were just leaving your wife to wing it. They have co-ops where you work together, you develop a curriculum together.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're through a parish and you could do it that way. Like the local
if you're in a
Nova Sordo
decent
parish
sized
had a
city,
home.
you'll be
Yeah.
you'll find at least a few of those. We're out in the sticks, so we really don't have that. But yeah, there's a lot of support out there.
This is an absurd question. No, of course not. Like, what do you mean? Not everybody's like fertile, like, and just spits kids out like that. You guys are all silly, the things you ask. Yeah, all right. Anything else, Sebastian?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys stay safe, all right?
Thank you so much,
You
man.
too. Hey, real quick,
Thank you.
what your department doesn't issue the P320, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay,
No, we use
I
Glock.
won't have to pray extra for you then.
I'll still take him though.
Okay, we'll do. Thanks, man.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Anthony of the Five Sicilies just to see here.
Let's see if his audio is working.
Hello.
How we doing it? Oh, we got you, brother.
perfect.
What's happening?
Well, a couple of thoughts for that last guy. Timothy Gordon is advertising a homeschool class, so on his locals, that might really be worth picking up. I think they'll
Yeah,
have some
for
good
sure.
stuff there. Well, I had a couple of things to go over. Quick things in the spirit of the show. I wanted to ask a question about mothers and newborn babies. I hear that babies are so innocent and ignorant that they don't even know that they're separate to their own mother, and that just putting a baby in the mother's arms will completely stop them from crying. In your experience, is that at all true?
If they're traditional babies and they go to the Latin mass, but if they're Nova Sordo babies, they're awful, and no amount of latching to their mother will cease their crying. No, I'm obviously kidding. I don't know. I think babies are each one is different, I would imagine.
I mean, I don't know all the science behind it. There's a lot of it, but yeah, apparently, like up until like 6 to 8 months, they and I don't know how they know this. I don't think they really can know this. I think they're guessing, but they say that they don't recognize their mother as being a separate being from themselves until like 6 to 8 months.
This sounds like women who want to co-sleep, that this is propaganda
All-
to convince their
all-
husbands that the
all I know
babies
for
need to be in bed.
all I know for sure is they definitely recognize that dad is a separate being
Yes,
right
for
away.
sure.
It's not until like 8 months when they're like, "Yeah, you're okay."
It's quite interesting. What's your favorite title of the Virgin Mary for both of you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Our Lady of Victory, for sure.
Oh man, I love Our Lady Queen of Heaven.
That's a good one.
I just love Our Lady Queen of Heaven. So, but that is a good question. You know what? If I thought about that a little more, I might have a different answer. I'll think a little deeper about that one. I might post that a little bit later. So, but anything else, Ant?
Well, my reason for my favorite title is Our Lady of Sorrowful Mysteries, because Ripperger said she'll give you whatever you want. So it sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
I
name's
have
a
a sister
historical reference.
I have a sister who has a very deep devotion to Our Lady of Sorrows. So,
Right. Well, that's all, folks.
all right, very nice meeting you, Ant. Okay, Tim is next.
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Tim.
Hey. So I've got kind of a interesting question for you guys. I have a friend of mine who is a recent convert, and he also recently became red-pilled, if you know what that means, if you know what that's about.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just recently found out that he's been asking for a certain historical dictator's intercession.
Mussolini's?
I wish it was that one.
Because that one I could almost understand. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, that one too, but it's been the other guy.
Yeah,
I think you know who I'm talking about. How do I get him to stop doing this sort of thing?
Oof.
Is he Catholic?
Yeah, he's a recent convert.
Hold on, let me look up the.
But he's convinced that this individual is a saint.
I would have him read the encyclical Mit Brennender. I can't pronounce German. Mit Brennender Sorge. It's an encyclical by Pius XI against the Nazi Party, specifically. I found that those who support Mustache Man tend to find ways to claim that it's not really a condemnation of the Nazi Party, but it is.
Look, it's one thing to have criticism of, I mean, we are very vocal about our criticism of Jews, but I think that it is upon
probably a better way to say that.
But I mean, we're very critical of
I can't stand them.
Yeah, I'm not. This isn't about that. This is about like, you shouldn't be asking for the intercession of anyone who hasn't exemplified like extraordinary holiness. It's just as simple as that.
I always tell him it's just like, he wasn't leading a Catholic life, believe it or whether or not he killed himself and all that. It's like he had a longtime girlfriend that he probably was, had a physical relationship with, and that's enough. That's enough to believe that he's not in heaven.
He was a
vegetarian.
vegetarian.
Now listen. My wife's mother's maiden name is Braun. Eva Braun's probably related to her, so I'm not. This is no hatred towards the Germans. I'm saying, like, we really should not glorify anyone who didn't show an exemplary life of holiness, right? Look, this is our criticism of even some of the newer saints that the church is elevating. It's that, did they really have like this extraordinary virtuous life that we should all emulate? There's nothing in the life of Hitler that any of us should be emulating.
Yeah, I mean, I criticize what's his name?
Carlo Acutis, right?
Yeah, Acutis. But I think he was probably way more holy than Hitler. You know what I mean?
Man, this is a danger in a lot of the crap we see online, but I mean, if your friend is serious about taking his faith seriously, it's one thing to understand the historical context of that event and to take it into serious thought and understand what it was.
I would say if he is idolizing Hitler because of certain things he did against the Jews, tell him to look into the life of Queen Isabella of Spain. You're talking about a person who also fought against what she saw as the evils of the Jews, but who lived a very Catholic life and led her, instead of leading her country to ruin, led it to
or even Franco or something,
or Franco, but I mean, there's far more. There's people people out there who are far more worthy of admiration than Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, that's all. That's how I would leave it. Yeah, and it's the red pill. Yeah, I think it's important that we actually do have a clear understanding of what the red pill is putting forth. It's feminism for the male. It's the male version of feminism. It's antidotes. Like it has a proper prescription of the problem, like not a prescription. It has a proper diagnosis of the problem, but its prescription is horrific. It's just it's garbage. Like it's no different than feminism. Like the honestly, the proper antidote to it is Christian patriarchy. It just is.
I mean, very, very similar to Nazism itself. They diagnosed the problem pretty correctly, and I'm not even talking necessarily about Jews there, just about the degeneracy of the Weimar Republic. But their solution led their country to absolute ruin. So,
yeah. So, all right. Anything else, Tim?
Yeah, I guess I had just one more question. So I've got another friend who thinks that the Holy Spirit. Well, I understand that the Holy Spirit, like in the Bible, it says that it appeared like a dove. It descended like a dove. I have another friend that believes that the Holy Spirit is like basically like a dove incarnate.
Oh boy.
If that makes sense. And like I understand why he believes it, but I was just wondering if you had any advice on how to deal with that one.
Man, this is like getting into the Jay Dyer, Tim Gordon stuff, right? It's like a dove is not an incarnation of the Holy Spirit. That is not what happened there. It's kind of like saying the Holy Spirit descended like tongues of fire on the apostles in the upper room. It's not an incarnation of the Holy Spirit. I would think that's. I don't know how literal that language is. I would want to ask somebody that's way more qualified than Rob or I, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Greek says, for instance, but like, does it mean as a dove, like literally physically as a dove, or as a dove as in like figurative sort of language? I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Rob and I are the right to ask that question too. But I'm not saying there's not a correct answer to it. I just don't know if we're qualified to answer it.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, fellas.
Maybe Sam Shamoon. Call it the Sam Shamoon show with that one. he'd be a little better than us. All right, nice meeting you, Tim. Who we got?
Deirdre's mic and cam
Deirdre.
still aren't working.
I'll Deirdre, your mic and cam aren't working. I can't believe how many women watch our show. This is unbelievable.
Or never mind. Here we go.
Oh,
not Ethan.
Not Ethan. What's happening, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Nice to talk to you guys.
Yeah, what's up?
So first, I'm going to be here to defend convert supremacy, but I got a question. So I'm in a men's group, right? And yesterday morning we meet, and we have this long debate about communion in the hand. And like, you just get back to this question of, I also mentioned that I went to Latin Mass on Sunday, which didn't go over well with one of the guys. And they defended like, our bishop doesn't support this because I'm Archbishop of Detroit. And like, you read yourself into the Catholic Church, and like one of the big things is apostolic succession. And you get to the question of, how many of the bishops even believe like what people like I that read ourselves into the church believe? And like, what do you even do with that? You know what I mean? Because it's like, they're kind of right. Like, this bishop hates tradition. What, you know what I mean? What do you even say to that?
I actually think the converts that came in over the last two decades or so, and their love for the faith and their desire to actually see it lived out, because they had such a deep fervor for Christ before they come into the church, and then when they do come into the church, they see this kind of this lukewarmness around them, and their desire to see the faith lit on fire is part of the drive that's sending people to the Latin Mass. It's a lot of converts at the TLM. This is not a convert versus cradle Catholic thing. I do think the converts are actually part of the reason there is so much fervor around the Latin Mass, because they were on a search for apostolic Christianity, and then they get here and they kind of find a Protestant version of Christianity, and they're like, no, this isn't what I read about. I want the version I read about in the Fathers. So they do. Use Cracker Barrel as a perfect example. I know this sounds crazy, but they the public pressure campaigns work, right? And I think there's a lesson for the archdiocese, the parishioners in the archdiocese of Detroit, in what happened with Cracker Barrel. This bishop, he seems very intent and settled on his decision to remove altar rails and to get rid of the Latin Mass. But I do think public pressure has a place and it does work. It needs to be done prayerfully. It needs to be done properly, and I think it needs to be organized. I think that the Archdiocese of Detroit, all the faithful Catholics of the Archdiocese, really do need to figure out some organization, and you guys need to, get on your knees and start praying your hearts out.
Yeah,
I would just say, like, of the 12 men chosen by the God man to lead his church, one of them was Judas. I mean, so we have to expect that of the successors to the apostles chosen by very fallible men in the papacy, way more than 1/12 of them are going to be Judas's too. And and if that didn't shake the faith of the apostles as they went and spread the the gospel around the world, then we can't really let it shake our faith either.
No, that's a good point.
The bishops have financial responsibilities too, guys. So don't, I know it's a silly analogy, but I don't think it's that silly. I think that even the public pressure campaign that came down on Charlotte made the Bishop of Charlotte hold off on some of his things. Now I'm granted the bishop in Detroit seems a little more stubborn than him, but prayer goes a long way, and fasting goes a long way too. So
yeah. I will say, I'm just joking about the cradle or the convert supremacy. My wife is a cradle Catholic, and it took me being married to her for 11 years to join the church. And then just one other closing thought I'll say. I'm like a pretty big Anthony Cumia fan back in the day, and I listened to, I'll say, Dave Smith's other podcast a lot. So this is a much better religious show to listen to. So love it and keep up the good work.
I'll tell you this. I would not. This show wouldn't exist without Anthony Cumia.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up listening to Opie and Anthony, and it made me want to do radio. It made like that. This show, I didn't start this show because I wanted to be some great evangelist. I didn't start this show because I thought I was going to come in and criticize the papacy. I started this show because I wanted to do radio. Like, I just love the idea of doing radio, and I like experimenting with new things. Like, this show to me tonight is fun. It's just a different thing we're doing, and so yeah, shout out to Anthony Cumia. For those of you who don't know, he's a legend in New York radio. So
he's who I have to blame for all this.
He's who you have to blame. But yeah, I got into the show because it's a good alternative to the degenerate comedy podcast I was listening to before. So
that's actually what it is, right? Like you'll never hear blasphemy on our show. We talk about subjects a little bit deeper. It's for the guys who actually do like Joe Rogan, but they're tired of hearing him take the Lord's name in vain. They're tired of hearing him talk about weed. They're tired
you can only hear about DMT so many times.
Yeah, DMT trips and stuff like that. It's for guys that actually do just want to hear a guy's podcast, and a lot of women listen too. I'm actually really surprised that a lot of women do like our show. So
cool. Well,
yeah,
that's all I got. So thanks.
Nice meeting you, Ethan.
Nice meeting you too.
Not Ethan. Get it
Not
right.
Ethan. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Alex Malone, right? Oh, Cardinal Imbarito.
You have
What's up, Tommy?
no authority.
Dude, you were my favorite one. You know that, right?
Oh, of course.
You
Yeah,
were
my
my
character
favorite
cooks.
one, and then you stopped coming in the chat. I was heartbroken when you left.
No, so I wasn't really like trying to issue a boycott of your chat. It's it's just once I became a TV star, I signed a contract and had a lot of, I spent a lot of time on that show. But no, I do, I do have a question though. Why do they in Detroit and Charlotte, like why do they let them take the Latin Mass away? Like why do the people let that happen?
I don't know. I think there's it's not the people, it's the priests, right? The priests that are not willing to lay down their life for the Mass. I think there's an element of that. And I think that there's look, it is a difficult question. Where does obedience end? Like, it's not a simple question. And I know you and I will disagree on the specifics of that, which I'm going to wind up getting into on Friday with Novus Ordo Watch. But I don't think it's out of cowardice. I do think it's out of a desire for people to want to be faithful. So I think it's a trickier question than some people think it is. That's all I would say.
I think a lot of it here, at least in America, has to do kind of with just this tendency that we as Catholics in America have always had to go along to get along, right? Like we've had to kind of lay down and let people run over us just to make it as Catholics in America. You know, we couldn't hold offices, you know, we couldn't even be citizens for a while. Like so I think a lot of it is just we as American Catholics are just so used to just not rocking the boat. And
Yeah.
I think that applies to stuff like this too, because I mean you hear stories about over in Europe when they try to take a TLM church away, like they'll literally sit in that church for weeks until whoever's trying to take it away just gives up. And here in
Yeah, that's
America,
what
we
I'm
just
talking
roll
about.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I think we lack organization, and I think that anytime somebody does try to put up any kind of resistance, they get accused of being a schismatic. I mean, look at dude, you get the accusations of schismatic are just thrown around at people, and it's like, dude, what are you even saying?
You have Taylor Marshall on, and you say we're going to give Pope Leo a chance, and man, suddenly you're a Protestant.
Yeah, it's like the accusations of schismatic and heretic from the laity towards each other are really out of hand. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know much
well,
else than that.
we got 20 years to go because you guys were only around for like 3 years before this conclave. So you guys got 20 years to get with all the Catholic influencers and put up a candidate, you know, rig the election.
I'm going to be under your authority, Cardinal.
That's true.
Just as long as that candidate isn't Anthony Abate.
UFO
Yeah, I'm
authority.
I'm going to fall under your jurisdiction, so I'm not worried. All right,
Hey,
Tommy.
you traditionalists are just a small percentage.
All right, bro. We'll
All right,
talk
see
on
ya.
Monday. I'll get you guys on.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, who we got next, Rob?
Anzaler, your mic and camera aren't working, so I can't throw you up there. So we have Papal Monarchist.
Okay. So for people, hold on one sec. The people in the chat that are asking how do you call in, like we really had to open it up to locals members and YouTube members, essentially, because those are the people that support us the most. So if we run out of those, we will open it up to the main YouTube chat.
Yep.
If you want to have a chance, I think YouTube membership's only like $3. And I think sometimes people like buy free memberships and stuff. So if you see a free membership pop up, you could grab those if somebody wants
And
to buy
if you
some of
are
those.
a YouTuber locals member and you joined late and didn't see, I posted a community post for YouTube members and in the live chat on locals, I posted the link. So those are the two places you can go to get the link.
Okay. All right. Papal Monarchist. Papal Monarchist Enjoyer, what is your question?
Hi.
Hello.
I didn't expect to make it on here. Yeah, a big fan of the show, you guys. I'm fully radicalized thanks to you guys, so thanks for that.
Sorry.
Not even that radical, dude.
ready to
think
go
we're
on
pretty normie.
crusade when we get a more militant pope in office. But my question is, I'm a young guy, young professional, just got out of college, just starting out. What's some advice from some of the guys a bit further ahead of me on finding a good Catholic woman and settling down, that kind of thing? I know really
Where do you
simple
live?
question to answer.
Where do you live?
You're gonna love this. Los Angeles.
You live in LA.
Yeah,
That's actually not as bad as you would think for finding.
I get to have the Cubist Cathedral. But
yeah, I honestly, a lot of guys think like you have to meet a girl in church, or you have to. I'm not big on that. Not because I don't think it's a good thing to do, but I think any chance you get to talk to a girl, you got to kind of just throw a shot out there and take a crack at it. And if you meet a girl with the right temperament, I think that if she sees the kind of life you're leading, I think holiness is attractive, and I think like a man just being a man is one thing I'm going to tell you guys, especially you Catholic guys. you underestimate your worth. Like, you don't know how valuable what you have to offer actually is. You guys all underestimate how unbelievably valuable it is to be a man who actually wants to get married and have children and provide for a woman. There is not that many men who want to do that. Now, if you can internalize that and turn that into confidence because you know what you actually do have to offer, the girls will come a lot easier to you guys. I think a lot of guys are intimidated by girls and they're afraid to get shot down. But if you have the confidence to know, like, I know you're going to go and get one night standed by that clown over there. So do you want to have time? Like, do you want to have your time wasted? Go ahead, go waste your time. But if you want to actually meet somebody that's going to, you know, give you a shot at a valid future, I'm the guy you want to talk to. Like, you guys have to approach women with a confidence like that. And I think you'll have a much better shot. And then if you meet a girl who likes a guy that comes with that approach, you're gonna be in a good place.
Yeah, Anthony's right about the you got to find someone with the matching temperament, and ultimately, that's probably more important than finding, you know, someone who is right away like a committed Catholic, because just because a woman is a committed Catholic, they may also be a feminist who will never really, you know, submit to you. But Anthony and I both found our wives like when we were not really practicing Catholics, and because of the temperament compatibility, when him and I both made the decision, like, if you know, now is the time we are going to really start to live our faiths. My wife followed, like, she enthusiastically followed me into it, and does so to this day. Where I think if I, you know, went and found a woman at church, it's very likely I would have found an uber feminist, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rob and I both married non-Catholic girls.
Yeah.
Like, both of our wives were Protestant and they're both devout Catholics now and they love the faith. So I'm not going to say marry, like, that was not intentional. By the way,
marry out of the church.
I would not say marry a Protestant girl. I would not say marry a girl who does not have the faith. I would say don't be afraid to meet a girl that is not Catholic or something, and make sure before you're married, I would ensure conversion is going to happen. You guys are on the same page there. It just happened to work out properly for Rob and I. But I would not limit yourself to only traditional parishes to meet a girl. I would not limit yourself to only meeting a girl in adoration. Be open to meeting a girl anywhere, and then start to talk about God and just see where they're at with God, you know, and try to find a girl with a little bit of depth. And if you can find a girl who thinks a little bit deeper about life and isn't just caught up in buying, you know, whatever the Kardashians are wearing, you're doing all right for yourself. And that's at least a place where you could start to build from.
If she was super excited about Taylor Swift getting engaged, drop it immediately.
Yeah, right.
Got it. Yeah, no, I appreciate all of that. So you're telling me if I attend a traditional Latin mass, then a trad woman won't just fall into my lap? I'm going
to tell you, some of the trad women are the most feminist you'll find. By the way, I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I found that out the hard way.
How you doing? How much school debt you got?
0.
Okay,
Good
Dave
man.
Ramsey. What
I'm
are
just
you doing?
asking, man.
Really?
You guys are all just coming out of college, and I made sure my children didn't get wrapped into school debt. That is the one thing.
Civil engineer, just started my first job and 0 college debt. So.
Dude, you have a lot to offer a girl. Do not underestimate what you have to offer a girl. And when you meet a girl, come at her with that confidence. Say, I'm a civil engineer. Like, I can provide a lifestyle for you. You want to go hang out with the bum that's selling bags of weed on the corner? Go ahead. I don't know what to tell you.
The guy over there selling American flags right after 9/11.
All right, settle down.
I appreciate that, gentlemen. I really appreciate the confidence.
It was nice meeting you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
All right, who we got next?
Alex Malone.
Alex Malone, who we've met a few times. Alex, what's happening, brother?
Yo, what's up? Good. Yeah, just
Alex,
wanted to call in just to see how things are going.
Wait, before anything, you are an enigma. Alex, when I met Alex, he told me he had never, ever had a fight with his wife. Is that still the case years on in marriage?
Well, I've been married 3 years, and I can't really say I've had like this, like a real battle. I mean, sometimes we have disagreements, but maybe it's just my wife's personality, but she's like very good with like getting along with what I want to do. So it kind of
Let me
works
just
out.
tell you, he's not kidding. Alex is not putting on a front. Alex left his wife in Philadelphia at a hotel and drove to Pennsylvania to come and hang out with us for a night, and just left his wife at the hotel. So I'm going to hang with the boys.
He tells us
tonight.
that, and we're like, "You did what?"
So Alex is not
No,
putting
it's
on a
just,
front.
it was just a night. No, yeah. So yeah, just glad I just want to check up with y'all and call in and hey, yeah, when's the next AB outing going to happen?
Yeah,
I gotta make it out to
figure
that.
that out because you came down to North Carolina too, right?
Yeah.
Alex is a soldier, man.
There is going to kind of be one at Sebastian's baptism.
I mean, if you guys want to meet in Minneapolis, right?
I know a lot of the Midwestern area folks in the Telegram might plan to show up. So
yeah, but and then look, Rob just had a newborn, so we do have to let him get settled in a little bit. But once Hope gets a grip on things and she can handle, when the baby's not like needs 24-hour service, we'll try and plan something and we'll try and figure something out, and we'll leave the wives at home and we'll get the boys together again.
For sure.
Awesome.
All right.
We're looking forward to it. And one more thing. So when you had Taylor Marshall on, you didn't ask my super chat of when he'll be getting back with TNT.
Oh, you know what? Look, honestly, I saw the
No,
super chat.
I was just messing with you. I mean, it's I don't want you to burn any bridges. Obviously,
that's what it is. I don't know if he would take it as a joke or if it's too sensitive of a subject. But I'm not going to put him on the spot like that. Like I just look, they have to work that out on their own. I'm not jumping in the middle of that. I would love to see a TNT reunion as much as anybody else. So. But that's on them. So
yeah, I totally get it. I was just kind of messing with you guys, but if you did ask, that would have been bridge burning, but that would have been interesting. But yeah, great talking with y'all again, and hope to get together soon.
Yeah, see you soon, Alex, man. It's always good talking with you. I've met Alex twice in person now. So all right.
Congrats, Rob, on the congrats, Rob, by the way, on the new baby.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Yep.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Alex. Thank you, brother.
Okay. Anzoller, let's see for
all good.
Now. There we go.
Name's Anna. Hi, you guys.
Wait, how do you pronounce this?
Anna.
My name is Anna, so Ann Zoller. That's my last name.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi, Anna. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. 2 questions. First one, very serious. Anthony, I need recipes for dinner that my husband sprung on me. Give me your Nona's best Italian. And Rob, you can chime in too, but if you say anything about hot dish, it's not going to happen.
Wow. Honestly, Anna, I'll put you in touch with my wife. I don't do the cooking in my home. My wife is a phenomenal cook. But if you want, my wife will hook you up. That woman can cook better than my own mother, which
honestly, I am he threw it on me. He's like, Saturday evening, you have to have something. I'm like, I have no idea. So second question, more serious. I am homeschooling my children. I'm looking at curriculum, and I actually started pre-reading a lot of stuff for high school. My kids are like 8-year-olds. So I'm prepping for high school. I've started pre-reading one of the textbooks that they're going to be using, and it's, I think, is it H.C. Roberts' History of the World? I might be wrong about the first name. It's Roberts' History of the World. It's a fairly well-known history of the world, and I'm about 5 chapters in and realizing that this man's whole perspective on history is completely skewed. He's obviously secular. It's, I think, supposed to be, I'm using a Catholic curriculum, and I think he's being proposed as a secular source, as a sort of foil to the Catholic view of history. But some of the things that he's saying are just so perverted. So he's obviously, like, literally the first 2 or 3 chapters was just about evolution, like starting with the troglodytes. The first thing he brought up about Sumer and their mythology was that the Christians eventually adopted some of their gods and icons in order to understand Christ. Like
Yeah.
really horrific stuff. And I'm wondering how you two, Rob, kind of in anticipation, and Anthony, you're dealing with high schoolers right now. How you have approached dealing with giving your children secular information so that they're aware of it, but also presenting the truth as we know it as Catholics to them. How have you encountered that problem?
What? Oh, you want to go first, Rob?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, so my oldest, we just did kindergarten, and so we haven't experienced it a lot yet, but he's really into science, physics, astronomy, stuff like that. So
Dinosaurs is so hard.
Well,
yeah.
Michael Hitchborn's a good one to ask about that, because Michael Hitchborn loved that. You want to know something? Did you ever watch our episode on the antediluvian world, the world before the
I
flood?
absolutely did. I was trying to get my husband to listen to it. He is not bought into it at all. So. I love Hitchborn.
The evolution topic, Logos Rising, the first few chapters of Logos Rising, Michael Jones's book, will completely destroy anybody's notion of evolution, because he just goes through how incoherent it is and how illogical it is that, how can an eye develop? Like, how can nature choose a gene? Like, if it's natural selection, how can nature select a gene that does not exist yet? It can't come from a single celled organism, the way they explain it. So that was the first crack in for me with evolution, was reading E. Michael Jones's book, and then going into speaking with Hugh Owens. So that was what kind of dissuaded me of any of the ideas of evolution, and then just
The
seeing it
Foundations
as
Restored stuff that they've done is amazing.
Yeah, I haven't I've looked at it. I haven't purchased it yet. I guess, so is your approach then, Anthony, to present the truth first? Is that what you would recommend? Present the truth first and then introduce the secular ideas as a foil? I think that's what this curriculum is attempting to do with
what I
Robert's
always, especially with my older kids and my son specifically, because he was so curious about it, it was always like, okay, look, you're going to be presented with this, but I want you to critically think about this. And as I was reading E. Michael Jones's book, I was sharing those ideas with my son and kind of going through a lot of them. And then and it's going to be very dependent on each of your kids and how they perceive knowledge, I think, because each kid is going to be different. But my son was always super inquisitive about it. My daughter just doesn't care. Like, she just doesn't care. She's like, I don't care. Like, it just was never an interest of hers. But my son was super inquisitive about it. With the history stuff, I'll tell you, a really good secular book on Christian history is Tom Holland's book.
First 2 or 3 chapters, anyways.
Well, I would say up to the Reformation was really good. Like, if you read Tom Holland's book Dominion, it basically tells you the history of how Christianity spreads, and then he has a very Protestant take on after the Reformation. But up to that point, I thought it was really solid.
I think
I was actually looking. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
No, you go.
I was going to say, for Christian history specifically, I found Daniel Rope's. It's 10 volumes. It's like 10,000 pages. His 10 volumes on Christian civilization is excellent. It's just, it reads like a novel, and it's just fascinating, and it's written from a Catholic perspective. The problem is it is a bajillion pages long. And I think that's the thing that I'm kind of running into, is how much time do I spend teaching about secular history, or do I just give them everything Catholic and then they go out into the world completely ignorant? Is kind of where's the balance, you know?
For me, so like I was saying, my oldest loves science, and he watches secular videos on science. And what I try to do is just with all my kids, give them just this whole, view of the world through the Catholic lens. See everything through salvation history, really. And then I think you can take some of these secular theories or findings, especially with physics and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I think it's rather easy to actually fit it into, a truly Catholic view of the world, and it's easy to, to say to my 6-year-old, like, this, whatever this theory in physics is, or whatever whatever finding they just did in astronomy, do you really think that happened just due to random chance? Or does it make more sense that, a God who has literally planned everything from before history ever began, planned for this and designed this, and and I'm not talking about like intelligent design through evolution, that BS, but just in general, like I think I think if you give them that good base, then you can be the one to address the secular things and have them look at that through a Catholic lens.
I might relegate this Roberts book then to the trash heap. It's
Um,
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Have you ever looked into Christopher Dawson?
I have not. No.
So he's another really really good, great Catholic historian. He was really the same era as Ropes, whatever that is.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think he's quite as wordy, and a lot of his
Okay.
work kind of has this Augustinian city of God versus city of man sort of feel, where he kind of
Love it.
walks you through all of history from that Augustinian perspective. So
I knew it was a good idea to tune in tonight. All right, you guys. I'm gonna let you go, but you gave me
Very
some really good ideas. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we love our
Yeah,
we
have a
love
good
our,
night.
our
You
female
too.
audience.
Okay,
All right,
we
who
got
next? Richie and Sam's up next. Then we got Mr. Cia Layman, and then I think we could open it up to YouTube. So, all right, what's up, Rich?
Not much, guys. What's going on with you?
Not bad.
Okay, so Rob, do you mind if I yell at Anthony for a quick moment?
Oh, no. I'll mute myself. Go, feel free.
Okay. Anthony, you threw me under the bus so hard during trivia one time. You're like, we're going to open it up to Twitter followers and it's going to be great. I was the only one. And the rest were like the YouTuber Catholic people. And I was so mad. So mad.
Oh, you were on with us?
Yeah,
I was on that one.
This is Rich from Canada.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Okay. So livid. Still mad to this day. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I just wanted to give you a hard time for that. No, my question for you gentlemen, though, is I know Flanders has talked about it a little bit, but are you guys aware of the history of like the Catholic Métis in Western Canada and like Louis Riel and everything? Have you heard about this?
I've heard some of it, mostly from Flanders.
Okay,
but I don't know like specific names and individuals.
Yeah, like I find so I'm in Saskatchewan, and like I'm German background, so Rob, you and I are probably related because most of my family actually came out of Minnesota.
Okay.
They're first generation Americans, then came up. But anyways, so it's interesting because the last two wars fought in Canada in the late 1800s were Catholic Métis fighting Protestants that they brought over from Ontario. And it happened both in Winnipeg was the first one, and then Louis Riel came back an hour north of where I live. And it's a part of like Catholic history that like people don't recognize. Like I loved when Colomb and Kennedy Hall did a thing on Catholic Canada, because like we hate the East, like out west here it's like the South hates the North. It's the exact same thing. You know, one day the West will rise again and we are going to become independent again. Just ask Brian Holdsworth. You know, him and I are on the same page. But like, yeah, like how Catholic is your area that you live, Rob? Because you're in a German area, right?
No, I'm actually not. I don't live in a German area now.
Okay.
The area I live in is largely either Finnish or Slovenian.
Okay.
Both the Finns and the Slovenians came over here to mine iron ore. Most especially the Slovenians, but the Slovenians were actually very Catholic. And one of the first priest in the area was a Slovenian missionary named Father Boo, or I think it's Boo, but he has a cause for canonization open right now. And then you had like Bishop Braga, also came to this area. He's another Slovenian missionary, more well known in Michigan. But no, so the area in the past was very Catholic, but not so much anymore.
My extent of Catholic Canadian Catholic knowledge is the movie The Robe. That's it. I've seen the
No,
movie The
no.
Road.
I Confess. That was in.
Oh, I
Montreal.
Confess. That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look.
People
at
are asking about your door, Richie. They want to know if it's a
Okay.
portal to an Xbox game or something.
Okay, so funny enough, when we bought this house, the whole bedroom was this color. So the bottom half was black, and then the top half was the green.
Oh.
So this is currently my office, but because we have too many children, I have to actually move my office into the garage. And when we painted
Bottom,
this room,
the garage. I freaking love the Canadian accent.
we also say Mazda and lasagna. So please don't yell at me. I actually lived in the States for 2 years, so I've heard all this before. But no, yeah. So the whole room was this color, and so we're like, oh, we'll paint it white. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And I'm like, but I'm keeping the door. The door will stay forever. So.
Do not watch The Robe, guys. There's probably, I don't know. It's been years since I saw it, but I'm sure there's bad stuff in it. But yeah, all right. So Richie, if you're near Banff, we're going to Banff in December. If you're out west in Canada, we're going to Banff in December. So yeah, I'll try to get you those dates. I think Brian Holsworth's going to pop in for a night. Mike Pantile is going to pop in for a night, and I'm heading over there with all the guys and girls that went to Italy for our pilgrimage. So we had such a good time together that we're going to head out there in December. So if you're free and you want to come pop in, feel free.
Oh, I'll definitely pop in. It's a little closer than crashing the baptism. So,
all right. You got anything else?
No, that's it for me. Just
all
keep
right.
doing what you're doing. Congrats, Rob, and hopefully we'll see you guys in December then.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
you.
Rich.
Bye.
All right. Who we got next?
Is this Mr. Sam Rhodes?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
How's
Is
it
this
going?
Sam Rhodes?
Yeah, what's going
He
on,
probably
guys?
didn't want his last
goodness.
name on there, but
Yeah, I can only dox myself so much.
What's up, Sam?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to jump on and tell y'all how much I appreciate you guys and everything y'all do. I've been listening for about maybe 2 years now, and y'all been just a light of encouragement in this sea of sadness and modernism in the world. So,
well, thank
you. I think it actually is like people in the comments have called us like the frat boys of Catholicism, and they don't like our show
Better than The
because we're
View.
yeah, well, that is true. Keith Messer really called you Whoopi Goldberg yesterday.
Better than Joy Behar.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he said it. But yeah, no, man, we appreciate all you guys that have stuck, especially you guys that have been around for a couple of years now, man. You guys helped us get this channel off and running, so we appreciate you guys.
good. Well, I'll leave y'all with a question. Who would you rather have as your chaplain on a pilgrimage? Would you rather have Father Rippiger take you to Rome, or would you rather have Father Dave Nix take you to the Holy Land?
I'm gonna
the
choose
last
Father
time
Nix
Father
just-
Nix went to the Holy Land, a war broke out. So
Yes, but I'll always choose Father Nix just because I love that guy. I have Father Nix is my friend, you know.
Yeah.
And when we went to Pennsylvania together, that whole trip would have been so different without him. That man takes prayer very seriously. He praises his divine office every day, and he turned what would have just been a boys' trip. He turned it into a real retreat. And we got to celebrate Mass every day, and we prayed the Rosary together as men every day. And then we also got to do the things we would have done if we did not have a priest with us. But Father Nix is always going to be,
now,
you know.
Father Nix does say, and this is kind of a secret, that Father Rippiger has the best meme game out there.
Oh yeah,
that all Father Rippiger likes to do is send funny memes via text.
Yeah. Well, now I'm only going to say, if I knew Father Rippiger as well as I knew Father Nix, I might feel different. But Father Nix is, you know, he's my boy. I would love to.
Or
maybe,
do we want to tour Auschwitz with Father Maudsley?
I'm gonna probably choose. I'm gonna choose that one. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna do Auschwitz with Maudsley is gonna be the one I'll probably go, just because I think I'll learn the most.
Rob, after you sharing the information about Father Rippiger, I wonder if he has like a Twitter burner account. He just like puts spicy memes on. And he just trolls us all.
You know, I don't think so. He loves
doesn't
his
seem like
memes,
the
but he likes to text them to friends.
Yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Well,
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, brother. On screen,
yeah,
at
nice to
least.
see you guys.
We've been talking
See
for
y'all.
years.
If you
Adios.
if you make it to the if you can make it to the baptism, let me know. I'll let you know when the date is, Sam.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of busy the next few weekends now, but just let me know.
Okay, we'll do, man.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
Mr. C. Layman, is that his
Yes.
next? Mr. C.
Hello.
Layman, been seeing
Hey,
you for years
guys.
too, man. What's going on?
Not much. Mega dittos to bring it back to old radio talk. Really appreciate you guys, and kind of hard to follow up Father Maudsley and Auschwitz talk. So, I had a question in terms of within Council Catholicism. Would be your most liberal opinion? Like, do dogs go to heaven, or is everybody going to be saved at the end? Like, what would be your most liberal opinion?
Mine's pretty easy for me. I guess mine is if not anything else, it's the hope that unborn children go to heaven, and for me, it's just because I have 3 that didn't make it to birth, so I just hope I see them in heaven. But
that's a good one. That's hard. That's a hard one to top, right? The limbo of the infants is one. My most liberal opinion, man. Yeah. Okay. So my most, like, my innermost thought on this is that maybe there's a chance that God has mercy upon suicides, but I don't think there's ever a place to teach that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's ever a place to teach that, because I think it sends a totally warped message, and we should be telling people suicides are cowards and you should never do it because you're going to burn in hell for eternity. But my hope, like, I'm kind of one of those guys who, dare we hope. But I just hope that there's a chance that God he sees something in people suffering like that so bad that they're, it depends on the circumstances, of course. I think any guy who does it, who has a family he leaves behind, like, that's just disgusting. But you see, maybe a young teenager, because I had one of my best friends took his life when I was a kid, and he was just so hurt. Like, he was just in so much, like, emotional pain and stuff like that. So it's not that it's a liberal opinion, but it's a liberal hope.
Yeah.
Well,
but that was a good
guys.
question.
That was very very deep. Well, from Auschwitz to suicide.
Yeah, this might qualify. My most liberal opinion is that I can wait. This one right here. My most liberal opinion is it's okay to wear jeans to mass. I don't think it's okay to wear jeans to mass, but
he hopes it is.
I'm not a fan of suits, that's for sure.
Well, colored shirt at least, right? Well, it depends. Novus Order, obviously, but
Yeah, Mrs. C saying, not my husband, by the way. not my husband. I gotta tell you, I am very surprised at how diverse our audience is, Rob.
I was just surprised that the first 2 guys were wearing wife beaters.
I wasn't surprised by that at all, to be honest.
Avoiding Babylon DEI. All right. Well, thanks very much, guys.
It's very nice meeting you, man.
Yeah,
all right, who we got next? We got Brock. I think we know Brock. Brock's been on with us, right?
Do we know Brock?
Do we know Brock?
You're thinking Brick. Hold on.
No. Don't we know? Hasn't Brock been on with us?
Hold on. Brock's got 2 open.
Brock's got 2 open and neither of them working.
Neither of them are working. Brock, I'm going to leave you there in case you get them working.
All right, and then we got St. Anthony Padua, Radtrad. This is, you there, Ant? Well, it's really Gregory.
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on?
What's happening, brother? Me and you still haven't ironed out a date yet. What's going
Put
on?
Keith Nestor's hair to shame.
that guy's hair is weak.
What's going on?
No, dude. I just, I don't know. I thought about coming on. I thought maybe, we would just talk. I don't know what to talk about. I thought we would talk a little bit about the SSPX. I was curious what your thoughts on them were, because I don't hear you talk too much about it. So I was curious. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think, and then let me see
let's hear
if what you think is accurate. I see the SSPX as kind of like sedes, like practical sedes, if that makes sense. Like they just haven't taken that leap, if that makes sense. I mean, what are your thoughts on that kind of description?
I think they like the structure that's in place. I do think there are many people that attend who probably hold Sedevacantis views. I know a few. A few sedes who attend the SSPX. I personally will go, no problem. I don't know. I think there's a necessary place for them. I think they're a necessity right now. I think that I mean, if you're gonna ask my opinions on Lefebvre, I think that we owe Lefebvre a huge debt. I think that I don't know, man. I think the times are so confusing right now that I am I'm very generous in where people land because things are so confusing. So if somebody lands in the SETI position, or somebody lands in the SSPX position, somebody lands at a Latin mass position, or even some, like I even see people that are just, you know, normie Nova Sordos. I think if everybody is going at that position from a desire to do what they feel God is telling them to do, it's too confusing right now to say you're wrong. I honestly don't know my own position on it. It's too confusing.
The reason I bring that up, because I know most of your audience, I'm assuming, is probably like traditional Nova Soto type, maybe like FSSP, maybe indult Latin Mass type.
Yeah.
I know there's a few settings, you know, on here that watch like Celicast crew, but like other than, but like for the most part, I'm assuming you guys are like indult, some SSPX, but whatever, that kind of view. But I think that there's when it comes to the Sedevacantist world, it's not as known, but the Sedevacantist, man, if you go to any one of our chapels, we're just regular Catholic dudes, man.
Yeah, just Catholic.
And I think that if people I think people don't, I don't know if they're just, I don't know what they're thinking when it comes to the SSPX, that they have a more FSSP view, but the SSPX takes very strong stances.
Yeah.
That a lot of the things that Sedevacantist would agree with, like saying the new mass is evil, you know, saying that the things of Vatican II, like religious liberty and ecumenism and so forth, are heretical.
Yeah.
Some question the validity of the new rites of consecration ordination, whether or not these are even valid priests. Some do not. That's not their stance officially.
Yeah, no, there's no unified stance amongst sedes. Even but that's what I mean by I'm very lenient to people that land on different positions. And just to say, like the video where I was making criticism, I was speaking very specifically about online sedes. I wasn't talking about people at their parish. I wasn't talking about sede priests. I wasn't talking about anything like that. I was talking very specifically about my impressions of people on Twitter that lean towards that, and just the tendency of many online settings tend to be like autistic. Like it's just the way it is. I don't know.
I think people on Twitter are that way in general, man. Like, we like to just fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when we talk face to face, it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem is for many people, the only set of Sedevacantists that they're likely to meet are probably going to be those on Twitter or on other online social medias. And I think that's one thing that you know your average trad needs to maybe worry about more, because if TC is here to stay and the Latin Mass is to remain restricted, then it's not like the Samoan Pontificum era where you have parishes that are saying both and people can get to know trads in person. It could become the point where the only trads they know are online, and many trads online aren't great.
I guess my hope is, because I know that there's diocesan and Latin Mass people that will never go to SSPX and will certainly never go to SETI. But if you're an SSPXer, the way I look at you, and I think they should look at Sedevacantists, is that we're so close that it's like, they shouldn't have this animosity toward us. Like, you go to SSPX, you go to Sedevacantists chapel, you're almost going to see really
I agree with
it's so
that.
minimal a difference, and their thinking's very similar, that we're basically brothers, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with that.
That's all. That's what I want to communicate.
I would say Sedevacantists have to stop, especially like online. I don't know, I've never gone to a Sede chapel or anything, but online they have to stop looking at people that don't come to the same conclusions as them as idiots. Like, it's not an easy thing to come to, and you came to that decision, and that's okay. But like the people that didn't come to the same conclusion as you got to give a little leniency to as well. Like it just, that's what it comes down to. It's like the times are so confusing. You have to give a little bit of leniency. Some of the people I respect more than anything that that have been on this show but have not really come out publicly about their stance are sedevacantists, and I respect those people. I think they're very smart, and I think that they didn't come to that decision lightly. It's not like they just didn't like the Novus Ordo, so they became sedevacantists. It's something they thought very deeply about.
It's usually a trickle. It's usually it usually goes from an adult TLM, and then they end up going to finding an FSSP, SSPX, and then resistance, and then SETI. It typically goes like that. Not always, but for the most part, there's this progression, because I think that's a logical progression, but it tends to go like that. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, I would just take any of them within 100 miles of me.
Yeah, probably at the SSPB tomorrow if it was around the block. Are you kidding?
Hey, nothing wrong with SSPB. So here's a question for maybe either one of you. Let's say we're kicking it, right? And we're buddies, and there's no other chapel around on a Sunday but a Sedevacantist chapel. Would you go to that would you be like, hey, let's go to the Sedevacantist chapel? Would you see it as Catholic, or would you see it as I can't go to that chapel?
I mean, I would say canon law makes it pretty clear I could go to that if that's the only one around. So
I will say I've been to a mass where the priest did not say the Pope's name in the canon. I've already done it, so I mean,
are you saying? Are you saying this is right after Francis passed away, or are you?
No. During the Francis pontificate, I basically attended a Sede mass. So I mean, I don't think I've ever said that publicly, but yeah.
Do you want to say what group it was?
It wasn't a group. It was just
independent priests.
It was an independent priest, and I can't say who because I don't want to.
Not independent in
I got that.
Not independent like the independent sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just, I don't want to get the guy in trouble. So
no, I get it.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm not sure. But I find that I do find that interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Look, I'm I just my thoughts are I haven't come to a definitive answer myself, and I'm kind of just waiting on God right now. That's kind of where I land.
I will say when it comes to Sedevacantists, I'm more SETI ecumenist.
Yeah, you're look, like I said, I know there are a bunch of settings that I think I really like. You're definitely up there. Even the oh man, what the heck is his name? The Thomist kid.
WM Review.
WM Review I really like. I like Novus Ordo Watch. Like there's a lot.
Scholastic Zoomer.
Scholastic Zoomer. I really like that kid. Like it's just, it's just it's one of those situations of a couple bad apples ruin the bunch. So Tommy, I like Tommy Burrito.
Oh yeah, he's one of the Salicast misfits that I align myself with. So
you did align yourself with a bunch of misfits. I'll give you that.
I'm a misfit. Okay, I'm a
yeah.
I'm a misfit even in the SETI world. I'll let you go.
Me and you will set something. Maybe you come on Monday when I do the show with those guys. All right, we're gonna get Majorian on. I don't want to say your name publicly, so I'll just leave it at St. Anthony Radtrad.
Right. Thanks, man.
All right, bring my boy on. Where's my boy? There's
What's
my boy.
up?
How you doing?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
With those glasses.
I'm Jeffrey Dahmer for the day. Yeah. I have so many questions, but I'm trying to sort through the ones that will get you canceled the most, and the ones that will get you canceled the least.
Can I just say, I can't believe nobody asked, like, what is your opinion on this other guy? What is it? Like, nobody tried to get me into, like, a beef with one of the other creators.
This audience has been wildly respectful.
Respectful.
They're also nice.
Like, nobody was like, okay, come on, tell us what you really think of Matt Frad. Come on. Like, nobody even tried to put me in that position. It was strange. What do you got?
I had guys. So I had Taffy asking me to ask your opinions on corporal spousal punishment. Yeah. And then I had someone in the chat asking me what your favorite slur was. All right. So
Dago,
low bar,
WAP, Guinea, any of those.
Yeah,
that's right.
I figured.
Mine.
I think we know what yours is, Anthony.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you ever had audio of me in my car in traffic, I'd be canceled immediately. What was the first? Corporal spousal punishment. I don't think any man should ever hit a woman. I mean, I just don't. I don't think that's necessary. Look, I'll give you this. My wife's biggest the biggest issue I have with my wife is that she spends money on the kids. Like she just always wants to get things for the kids, especially because I would not let my kids go to college, right? Like I'm not letting them get buried in debt at university. So my wife has this guilt that like we were supposed to send our kids away to college and we didn't do it for them. So now we have to do it. And I had to take my wife's card away the other day. Like, no, you don't even get a credit card anymore. I can't trust you to go to the store with my daughters. You're getting cash allowance now. This is what you're allowed to spend. Stop it. Like that's you know, you gotta put restrictions down. You gotta do it. But no, I would never ever be okay with raising my hand to my wife. Ever.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I obviously mirror the same thoughts.
It's financial infidelity and
it's financial abuse. Absolutely. Oh,
So
dude,
true.
if they ever knew how my household is run, they would convince my wife to file for divorce.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, Lila Rose as well. You know, they're interviewing together, of course. Yeah, my biggest question is about Twitter. Obviously, you know, chronically online. I'm on Twitter all the time, and you know, I see these accounts post like the same post over and over again, and like pisses me off, right? So I try and call those out, but I wonder, is it worse with the Indian slop posters, or is it, or are women worse on Twitter? Like that's my struggle. Are the e-girls worse than the slop posters? This is like the ultimate dilemma. If we could get rid of one, who would we get rid of?
With the Indians, I mean, at some level, you got to respect the game, right? I mean,
Like they're both doing it for money, right?
Okay, but look, when I say e-girl, I'm speaking very specifically about e-girls. Like I don't think that women have no place on Twitter. I'm not saying, because I interact with plenty of like women that are totally normal and they're just giving a little bit of feedback, but they're not fighting with men that aren't their husband, right? Like when I see a woman getting angry on Twitter at some man that's not their husband, I'm like, why are you devoting this much of your energy and life to someone who's not like?
Don't we have kids? What are we doing?
Yeah, like I find it very off-putting and strange when I see, especially the Protestant girls, like those Protestant, like the Lizzies and the freaking, you know, those girls nauseate me. Like,
you know what was kind of not karma, obviously, because we don't believe in that, but was like divine justice, was them all getting fooled by patriarchy Hannah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
That was pretty funny.
Shows
the lack of critical thinking.
Yeah.
And then you have like the ones who are actually a little bit like of the influencer types, right? Where these are girls presenting themselves as Christians, wearing low-cut dresses to lure men in with their figure and things like that. Like there's something so off-putting about that to me, that they just, especially in the Protestant world, these women have absolutely no concept of accountability or like preventing men from falling for a sin. Like they think that well, that's on you if you fall. It's like, no, we all actually have a duty to make sure we don't scandalize anybody or cause anybody to sin, and it extends to not just if you wear something and somebody can't control themselves. It extends to causing like ruckus amongst people. Like if there's tons of men commenting on your feed, like that's inappropriate. Like no, I would never allow my wife to be engaging with strange men and arguing, and they're looking at her cleavage and they're getting upset. Like it's just, I don't know, the guys that allow their wives to do that, I don't understand it.
Very strange for a husband to be okay with that.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I can't even imagine having my wife just constantly emasculate me on the internet, like day in, day out. Like that's brutal. You got to pray for your enemies, and you got to pray for those men that are going through that, because that's just brutal. They need to man up, get their wife off the internet. Unironically.
To the women who know how to be classy on the internet, I applaud you, because I know plenty of them, and they're not doing what we're talking about right now. So, very, very, very smart decision.
As you should. Yeah, I mean that's all I had really. I was trying my best to get y'all canceled real quick, but I think Anthony already did that.
Everybody's still on. Go subscribe to the Latin Slavs podcast. We still got 300 people on YouTube and about 600 people on X if they're still watching. But
Yeah, I swear, if y'all let Crash Cannon get to 400 subs before we do, I'm gonna
seriously,
crash
do not
out.
allow
Like,
that
I'm
to
genuinely
happen.
gonna
Do
crash
not,
out.
even if you guys never watch a Latin Slavs episode, go subscribe just to get them to 400 or 500 before Chris does, because it will make me angry.
I don't know. At least Chris has had me on.
Oh, we'll get you on, Rob. Whenever you want. You know, we're respecting the baby. We're respecting the baby.
Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, we'll get you on.
Yeah, go subscribe, Latin Slavs podcast. All right, Majority, we're gonna see who we got next up on the line.
Okay, I'll see y'all. Have a good night.
Yeah,
adios, brother.
Brock.
Yeah, we've had Brock on before, right? What happened?
I don't know.
He just ended his own stream.
No,
This kid is...
I don't know. The camera cut out. He's still connected, but the camera cut out.
Oh, this poor guy. This is third attempt. We've had him on, I think. He looked familiar.
JD, I see what you're doing. Don't worry. We'll get you on, bud. But there's one more person in line in front of you.
Yeah, we got one person before JD.
We have
All right, bring BG on. BG.
Hey everyone,
Hello.
how we doing? Can you hear me?
What's going on, brother?
Yes, we can hear you.
Nice, nice. Big fan of the show. So I have a kind of contentious question. Not so much modernist or Novus Ordo or Radtrack setup, but I have come across a new YouTuber, Annulment Proof. What do you all think overall about natural family planning?
We just had him on before, dude. He was on.
Oh no, I just want to hear your take on NFP and some of the things that he shared or have expressed. I didn't know who was on earlier, so that's why.
I'll be honest. I think that I actually have to learn more about it. You know what it is? It's never been something I've had to consider. Like, I've never used it, so I don't know. Like, there's never been any need for me to even research. It's never been relevant in my life in any way, so I don't know. I do know that I see a lot of female podcasters running around talking about it as if it's Catholic birth control. So, but I never thought about it the way Annulment Proof was talking about it, where
same here. Yeah.
I never thought about it deeply like that, where they're adding the unitive way to make the natural subvert the supernatural. So I have to actually listen to him and hear him out before I make a judgment call on that.
No, same here. So I'm kind of in the same boat. It was never an issue for me. But then I would hear people getting roasted by people outside of the Catholic faith as far as being like, okay, you just explained NFP and it sounds like Catholic contraception. So I was like, ooh, compelling point. So, worth digging into and kind of learning more about.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in like purposely using your cycle to avoid pregnancy and going a time of being chaste because you just want to do it for prayer or something, or if like, whatever, there has to be like I don't know. I have to look at, I've never even considered the question really that deeply. So I guess we're gonna have to hear John out.
And I think it also kind of depends on like what you mean by it. Because if you, for instance, it could be said that my wife and I used NFP to get pregnant.
To get pregnant. Yeah.
If
like
you're talking
knowing
about cycle tracking and best days, in order to get pregnant, many people call that NFP. And I obviously don't have a problem with that. As far as using it to avoid pregnancy, like at the very least, it has to be reasons far graver than what most people even talk about at the very least.
I think one of the things
I knew I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I don't even like to, I don't know.
Son of a
oh, it's hilarious.
Poor Hope's been pregnant for 3 years since I met you.
Well, so we've like with the breastfeeding, and this doesn't work for everyone, but generally speaking, you don't get pregnant until the child you're breastfeeding weans, right?
Weans, yeah.
And that's how it's worked out for us, where once they start weaning between a year and a year and a half, Hope ends up getting pregnant, and we have them spaced 2 years apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's also when he kicks the baby out of the bed. So
open up another can of worms. No, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like seems like a slippery slope where it can be used in irregular ways than maybe what it was set out to do in the beginning. And I mean, you just see it so popular with some of the bigger Catholic influencers. So it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's a very Catholic Inc. thing to promote. So yeah, we'll talk to John and we'll get to the bottom of it. But it was nice meeting you, BG. We'll see.
Hey,
We'll
likewise. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother. All right, should we get JD on, or you want to get Brock on?
Brock just dropped again.
Brock dropped again. All right, JD, let's bring JD on. JD, man, we've been interacting for years, brother. What's happening?
Bros, so happy to be here, man. Thank you guys for letting me share some of your space. I've been following your podcast, I think better part of 2 years now. Love everything you guys do. You're probably one of the only few that I habitually listen to, just for fun, but also for educational content. I know you guys don't brand yourselves as an educational podcast, but believe it or not, I have learned some things, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't brand ourselves that way, but we hope like we're all learning as we go. You know, like there's definitely things that we're all, especially through interviews and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just don't want anybody to mistake us for an apostolate or or missionaries or something. Like that's not what we're doing. You know?
Yeah,
So.
yeah, totally get it. Well, and the what was it, the Danielic Mysteries podcast that you did, really I didn't really appreciate Paul's letter to the Ephesians as much as I did after listening to that from you. So I really do appreciate you putting
Thank you,
thoughts
man.
into that.
It's one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah, really did. And it's just like it. I read that. I mean, I just read it again earlier this afternoon, or at least a few chapters of it. And it just continues to blow my mind. So, you know, whenever I can crack open the Bible and just get my mind blown again, it's just it's always a
the
graceful
book
thing.
of Ephesians is Paul's Catholic ecclesiology.
Right, and it's one of the letters where he's not he's, you know, there's always the modern scholars will say that, well, maybe Paul didn't write that one.
Yeah.
No, he did. It's just that a lot of his other letters are much more, have, you know, sharper elbows because he's chewing people out because they're doing the wrong thing, like in Corinth or wherever. Whereas in Ephesus, they kind of had their act together a lot more, and so he's able to like talk to them more reasonably about things like ecclesiology.
And he's also way further along after his conversion. He's almost near death. Like he's almost near. I think he's a Roman prisoner at the time, and he's probably got a lot of time in solitude in prayer, and he's just reflecting on the Old Testament, right? And he's like, he's in this phase where he's being caught up to the third heaven, and he's like, holy, I don't know if I want to be in my body or out of my body right now. I just know, holy cow, the things that are waiting for us. It's an amazing book.
Yeah, so that was going to get me into my first question. So I wrote out a couple of things. I want to not waste time. So question 1A and 1B, what's your favorite book on typology, if you have one? And what are your thoughts on Holzhauer's epochs, and if you have a recommendation for that?
Okay, question 1. Oh man, you know, because I would recommend a Brant Petrie book, but now that I saw his new series on the Jewish roots of the Novus Ordo, which is what it probably is.
You know, I have his introduction to the Old Testament with John Bergsma. I've read through like the first 100 pages. It's really good, but okay.
So all right, so his Jewish roots of the Eucharist is amazing. His what was the
Jewish roots of Mary, Jewish roots of the papacy?
Yeah, no, it wasn't one of those. It was which one was it? Man, I forgot. Oh man.
For me, Maudsley's books for typology are amazing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
What is it? The cross to the
crucifixion to creation.
Yes.
Crucifixion to Creation, Father Maudsley's book. Man, I'll tell you, like you guys really, if you go to the St. Paul Center, Scott Hahn's site, he had a like 20 years ago, he did a series of lectures to priests, and they're hard to find on the website, but you can still find them. And that's like where he goes through every book. He goes through he goes through all of Paul's letters, but then he goes through the Gospel of Matthew, and then he gets to this part in the Gospel of Matthew where he discusses the sign of Jonah, and it will blow your freaking mind when he discusses the sign of Jonah. So, I mean, I was always like a more of an audio guy because I was constantly in my car, so that was where I got like my real thorough understanding of biblical typology, was listening to old Scott Hahn talks and stuff.
Okay. All right, cool. And
wait. Kevin James is Catholic?
No way. Paul
Kevin
Blart?
James? What? No way. All right, go ahead.
Next, you're going to tell me Scott Hahn converted or something.
Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news to me. First I've heard it. Holzhauer's Epoch. So where do you, any book recommendations for that? And where do you think we are?
We have been debating doing a show on this for about a year.
The problem is the only real like book on it is Holzhauer's work, and it's one, it's hard to find. Two, it's like a translation from German from 100 years ago. It's like it's not going to be easy to read. But I mean, I think we're at the end of, would it be the fifth?
Yeah.
Fifth into the sixth. That's where I think we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, wait. Never underestimate how valuable Steve Cunningham's site.
True.
Like if you, Census Fidelium. If you look up, what the heck?
He's got an app now too. If you guys don't want to go to YouTube, there is a Census Fidelium app, and he did ask me to mention it once. So here we go, Steve. There you go, bud.
Which priest was it? Shoot, he did a whole series on, like, he did it every year when he would come up on the end of the liturgical year, and he would do the end of the world, like it would be right before Advent, and he went through Cornelius a Lapide's translation of the Apocalypse, and it is mind-blowing. If you guys can find that,
They say Father Wolf.
Yes, Philip Wolf.
So Father Philip Wolf, translation of the Apocalypse.
He did a series on Cornelius a Lapide, who's, I think he's like 11th century, so he's not even a church father, but he does a commentary on the Apocalypse, and he talks about like the stars falling from heaven and the keys opening the abyss. It is so unbelievable. Like I remember there was a period where I, like, especially if you follow the liturgical calendar, like as you're coming, because we're going to be coming up on it soon. Once you get to the end of October, after you've passed the Feast of Christ the King, if you just spend that time from November 1st, like from the Feast of All Souls until Advent, just listening to those Father Wolf homilies on the end of the world, I assure you, you will. And then he also did a whole series on, it was a 14-part series on, there were Marian apparitions in Italy. I forgot which ones they were. If anybody remembers that, you guys will remind me, I'm sure.
Speaking of Marian apparitions, that takes me to another topic. If I can ask another question. Are you guys familiar with the Marian apparitions in Ecuador, Our Lady of the Good Event, or commonly called Our Lady of Good Success?
Good success.
Are you, so there's multiple stories on that. I know that the one that's been verified was verified, I think, in like 1611, and that had to do with initial apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary to this nun. And then it had to do with like the painting and the building of the statue and stuff and the sanctuary.
That's the one that says Rome will become the seat of the Antichrist.
Is that? I thought that was La Salette, but
okay, maybe that's La Salette. Okay.
Yeah, but what's really interesting, and I'm not sure if this is substantiated or not, so I think there's a little controversy on this one. I mean, there's controversy in other ones too.
That's it. Robert got it.
But
the
this
Virgin
one,
of Revelation.
This one stated that a pope in the 19th century would be responsible for dogmatizing the dogma of her Immaculate Conception, and then also of papal infallibility as well. That happened in the early 1600s, and then obviously that happened 200 50 years later or whatever. So I wasn't sure if you guys were aware of that or not. But
in addition, that same apparition predicted the assassination of Gabriel Garcia Moreno in
yeah,
Ecuador
by the Freemasons.
by the Freemasons, assisted by the U.S.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
the assassin after the assassination ran to the U.S. embassy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've been assassinating.
Do you know what? Do you remember what year that was?
I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, because this is interesting. I'm like, so I'm on this fix right now. Like the 20th century was like a mess. And everything.
1875.
That would make sense. Okay, that makes sense because the diplomatic relations between the Vatican and the U.S. were broken, I think, in 1869, 1870, like right when the
Civil
Italian
War.
Peninsula was being reunified. It happened after the Civil War.
1870 would have been when Garibaldi finally captured Rome.
Yes.
So yeah, it would have been right around there.
And they were all so Lincoln hated like Lincoln did not like Pius IX, and I think the feeling was basically mutual.
Yeah.
To the point where Lincoln was trying to get Garibaldi involved in the Civil War, and Pius IX was, being somewhat nice to Jefferson Davis and all that stuff. But what a lot of people don't necessarily know is that there were people who were tied to John Wilkes Booth who were Catholics, and there was a supposed and unproven conspiracy that multiple people were involved in the Lincoln assassination. I think it ended up being proven, like it was debunked. But it created a big issue with the diplomatic relations between the Vatican and the U.S. government after Lincoln was assassinated, because there were like 2 or 3 people that were taken prisoner and were executed who were devout Catholics and were critical of Lincoln, but I don't think they were involved in the assassination. And it ended up leading to the Vatican not having, like, cutting off formal diplomatic relations with the U.S. The Vatican did not have diplomatic relations with the U.S., I want to say, from like 1869, 1870, whenever that happened, until 1983.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Isn't that that's crazy?
Yeah,
like,
that sounds right.
There was like so much stuff, like from the beginning of the French Revolution is when Pius IX was born.
Well, they didn't have formal diplomatic relations. That doesn't mean there weren't like that. That's probably when we delegated a to the Roman, like a formal delegate or something.
Yeah,
ambassador.
Yeah, but I think the ambassadors were gone. Like I think that was. So anyway, I think that's such an interesting time period in the 19th century, in the church, especially after the French Revolution into the revolutions of 1848, and like Pius IX kind of switches.
Yep.
And then like he proclaims the Immaculate Conception, and then Italy goes, and then like Europe turns on the church completely if they hadn't already turned on him before, and then the gloves come off, and like they have no choice but to convoke Vatican I, which was only like a 9-month council.
Because
like
of
one of the most isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Because of the war. Because of because of them
Yeah.
taking Rome.
So what do you think? All right, so I want to get you canceled for this one. So what do you think would have happened if they had continued the council at like Cyprus or wherever it was that they would have wanted to? Because they were gonna continue with the episcopate after they do the Bishop of Rome with Pastor Eternus. What do you think? Do you think things would have been different?
I think John Henry Newman probably would have got them to make some
limitations. Yeah, some
Right.
limitations and clarifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vatican I was kind of left open ended, and it wasn't fully clarified.
literally
it kind of led
was.
to some of the.
They didn't close it until 1960.
Yeah,
it literally was open.
It kind of led to some of the fiasco that we're dealing with now, some of the ultramontanism we're dealing with now. And,
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna I have to, I mean, it's getting late. So JD, maybe we'll do a full episode on that. That's actually a really in-depth topic. That's a good idea.
I think that'd be really interesting to tackle.
And we're gonna get Brock on. Brock's gonna be the last one. It's gonna be our
we
fourth
had
attempt
Kevin
to get
just
Brock
joined.
on. Oh,
we had someone just joined. So we had no one else joined. We got Brock and Kevin.
Respect. Respect.
JD, yeah.
Thanks, JD.
Thank you, brother. All right, we'll see you. All right, bring Brock on. All
Okay,
right,
it's
look, it
working
worked.
so far.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Hey,
What's happening?
it had to do with my browser settings because I've got all the audio turned off.
Oh yeah.
So it just like cut me out. Anyways, thank you guys. I love the show. Anthony, you're my favorite brown person. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah, little mustache. That's the best I can do. I'm also a Minnesotan, so
oh nice.
My question. I'm in Wyoming now, thankfully, but also not because there's no Latin mass. I've got to drive like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's right.
SSPX Chapel is the closest thing. But what is your favorite hot dish? That's it.
Ooh. I mean, so
Anthony,
easy...
you have to answer, Anthony.
I don't think I've ever had. I think, man, I don't think I've ever had a hot dish. I'm sure I would enjoy a tater tot hot dish if I was 7, but like, I don't know. If Rob makes me one, I'll try it. I guess I don't think I've ever actually had one. I'm trying to think. Maybe my wife's made something. I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
The easy answer is definitely tater tot hot dish.
Food for children.
I don't like you. I really don't. Tuna noodle casserole, which is a hot dish, is a close second. That's a good Friday hot dish right there.
All right, good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your patience.
Brock. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. All right, Kevin.
Thanks.
Kevin, you are closing out the show, Kevin.
Last one tonight.
All right, glad I made it. Thanks, guys. Big fan of the show.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd say you're my second favorite brown person. My wife goes first, so
your wife goes first. All right, I'll take it.
No, question for you guys. So thinking about, I've got 4 boys and a girl. Thinking about jobs for them growing up. You know, Anthony, you come from a trade background. Any recommendations on trades to think about?
I can tell you what I'm doing. My daughter's just enrolled in esthetician school, and thankfully my wife's father is paying for it, so I don't even have to worry about that. I'm grateful. My son is going for welding, and then he wants to get into like aeronautics welding. So he wants to like get certified and then continue the certification, and he wants to continue on with it. I don't know if that's going to be his career. I think that it's a good opportunity for him to get into some kind of a trade, and then maybe he'll meet somebody else. And I'm hoping he has like an entrepreneurial spirit, and you never know where this thing goes, and maybe there's something he could help us with down the road if this thing ever goes anywhere or something like that. But and then my youngest daughter is going to go, there's a sonogram technician program that she's already at 15. She knows that's what she wants to go for.
You know, one of my prior jobs was doing accounting for a plumbing and heating company. And those guys, man, they made bank. Now your average like entry level like HVAC technician, I don't know. You know, I don't know how that's going to do in the future, but I mean, where the area I'm in now, we don't have enough plumbers, electricians, things like that. So I think trades like that are always going to be necessary and useful, and you can really get a job anywhere in the U.S. And I think they're going to only be more needed as so many plumbers and electricians and stuff now are older. So
I'll say this: I have 3 brothers that are all paying their wife's student loans, and none of their wives work. That's all I know. Like that's that, and I had this real like obligation to not saddle the man my daughter marries with the debt of her just wanting to go to school. And then because I know all these women, they think they want to go and be the career girl until they get pregnant. As soon as these girls get pregnant, they want to stay home. So I figured, let me try to gear my daughters towards something where if they do have to help their husband, they can do it from home. Like I think that's what us as fathers with daughters have to do. We have to try to help our daughters find something where they can stay home with their kids. And if maybe they can make $200 a week, $300 a week to assist their husband, that'll be a help for him. And they don't have to go and, put themselves out in the workforce where there's men hitting on them and things like that. I think an office environment is horrible for a woman that's married to be in.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
quick follow-up, any plans on going on the Quite Frankly show? I know
I actually did. Yeah, I spoke with him. Tim Gordon, because me and him have Tim Gordon in common, and Keto Mandy had recommended me to him. So he lives in Westchester. We DM'd each other. He was like, maybe you just come on one night and I told him maybe on like a Thursday or Friday night after work or something like that. I'll just shoot up there. We'll do a show together, and then it'll have to be a Friday night because there's no way I could do it on a weeknight. So, but yeah, hopefully I would like to go on with him. Seems like a good dude.
Yeah. I just found out about him through when I think Tim was on, I don't know, a couple months back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's a good dude. We said we'll talk growing up New York, like just discuss because he's
a lot of stories there.
Yeah, he's my older brother's there. I mean, I've told a lot of war stories from my childhood on this show already.
That's
so,
right.
But yeah, we appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you so much
thanks,
for
guys.
everybody's
Appreciate
time today.
it.
Kevin, it was nice meeting you, man.
Yep. See you guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, dude, I thought this was fun tonight. I mean, I'm not going to say we do it weekly.
No, not at 2.5 hours, anyways.
No, it's not going to be a weekly thing. But I did think it was fun for a change up. Right? We didn't have to do much prep work, and I think everybody did enjoy coming on. Look, you're always going to get lulls where somebody asks a boring question, and you guys got to just kind of sit through it. And but I think I thought it was fun. Like I thought it was cool to get to meet people, and people actually asked like legit questions.
Yeah, it went way better than I thought.
Yeah, I was worried. Even the set A's, even John from Annulment Proof, like all of them were like very cool. Like nobody like came on to try and roast us or anything like that. It was like it was really good. Now, if we did it once a month, maybe we'll get some Protestants in that actually have some real questions. I mean, we're not going to do Catholic Answers live. Like the theology stuff is really not my wheelhouse. Like I feel comfortable answering some questions, but like I also don't want to overstep my bounds. I'm thinking like more relationships. So like if you have some people, I thought we were going to get more like, hey, I'm married. My mother-in-law is kind of overstepping her bounds here. How do you think I can handle this situation? Something like that. That's what I was thinking we were going to get. And it wound up just all being young guys and a couple of women that called in, really just seeking like how to be good dads. Like it was, and I think
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Because it's stuff that we can actually offer some insight in. My kids are older, so I could. The question of what we would have done differently was really good. Like what it made me think about that a lot. And I'll tell you right now, one of my biggest regrets is not homeschooling my kids. So if you guys are starting off in that space, do everything you can to keep your kids out of public school. It's a hellhole. It's rot. I had a priest yell at me one time for having my kids in public school.
I believe it.
Yeah. And guys,
we compliment people being respectful, and this is what they
towers in the comments. It's unbelievable. I just hope you guys don't scare off newbies with this stuff, because I don't care. It's not offending me. But like, if you get a new person in the comments, they're like, "What the hell is going on in this chat over here?" But this was fun, man. We have Michael Hitchborn on Thursday. We're gonna. Oh man, I don't even. That's gross.
I know.
We'll do some other stuff with Michael too. We're not going to just do that. Did you guys know that Chris interviewed Haley Luya tonight? Go check out Chris. I ended last night's show with you. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm going to leave you be. I'm just teasing you. All right, guys. We will be back on Thursday. And no, you were. Who called you boring? The Roman. I don't think you were boring at all, dude. I think we gotta actually get you on when we do a Black Pill episode, Roman. Yeah, maybe I'll get like Bobby and Roman on, and we'll just make Rob sit through it. He'll just have to suffer through it. Oh, Molly has another woman muted. Yeah.
I had a mute and block her too.
Haley is just too much. She's just too much. 2 feds and an Italian. All right, we are gonna wrap this one up, man. This was a really, really, really fun show, man.
It was
I
an
appreciate
interesting one to come back to.
Yeah, and honestly, wasn't it?
It was.
Like, you guys got a lot of Rob talking tonight, which was cool. It wasn't just me rambling the whole time. I thought it was fun. We'll do these once a month. If you guys did not get to comment, the cheapest way to do that would be through YouTube memberships. It's only $3 because it looks like we have so many people just in those. But maybe next time it won't be locals and members. So we're always going to offer it to them first because they support us.
And who knows? This might be a show that is exclusive on the new.
Yeah, on the new place, on the new thing that's coming.
The
new thing we can't announce yet, but is coming. So, all right, take us out, Rob.
Okay. We'll just.